eSportsMonies, ESM, Mac10, whatever you want to call me, and welcome to another episode of Pub Trash. With me is my good friend, Emperor. Is that the handle we're gonna go by for the show?
Yeah, we'll go by that.
Cool. Yep, it looks like we are live on the YouTube channel. I sent you a link to the stream. Oh, shit, it says Fallout 4. We are not doing Fallout 4. Okay, so,
I think I'm really quiet.
you aren't on my earbuds. Are you quiet on the stream?
I'm listening to it right now. I think I'm pretty quiet.
You are... Yeah, you are really quiet compared to me. Hold on. So I'm gonna turn my audio down really low and then play with my mixer real quick. That's why you're so quiet. Say something now.
Oh, what happened? How's that?
Okay, yeah, that's better. Turn that up just a hair. Say something.
Hello? Hello?
What up, Zero? Let me see if you're... Yeah, that's better. Turn it up just a hair. Say something. You are still really quiet. Do I have a filter on my desktop audio? I do! I have it.
Oh, wow.
I have it turned down. Why do I have... What on earth did I have that turned down for? Okay, say something.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Okay, cool. I'm gonna turn on this. Why do I have... What on earth did I have that turned down for? Okay, say something. Okay, cool. I'm gonna turn on this. You are still quiet.
Weird.
Well, I'm... Alright, say something now.
I'm looking at my audio.
Well, because I just turned you up so loud it might blow out my ears. So you might be loud enough on the stream now. I just turned you up big time. Ooh, that is loud. Wait a minute, I'm gonna turn you down to... Alright, just keep talking so I can do stuff. Like just keep saying things so I can have I have a benchmark.
Sorry about that.
Cool. All right.
Is this alright?
I'm just gonna do the
Okay.
see if I can make the gain. I'm just gonna add some gain. Everybody on stream, brace yourselves because I just added a filter. It might be about to get really loud up in here.
Let's do it. See how loud I am.
Okay, so I just added a gain of 10.
Yeah, I don't think I'm actually talking that much. So, like,
Hold on, I'm listening.
would Skype work? Do you have Skype?
It's not a Skype. It's got to be with my broadcaster software. Hold on. This is really, really peculiar because you are super loud in my ears. I've actually never had... What did I screw up here? Somehow this is my fault. What did I do? Okay, so... Default... Say something now? Yeah, I mean, I can hear you. I'm just... Alright, let's turn up the gain. Ooh, this is gonna be really loud. Okay, just say stuff. Okay. Now don't say anything. Okay, it's like you're muted almost. I couldn't hear anything. What is wrong with my OBS? Okay, so properties, desktop audio, go to USB. Maybe restarting OBS would work, but just say something. Okay. It's Is it just not detecting my desktop audio at all? Hold on. I'm just gonna go to a random YouTube video and see if I can hear something. Morden, don't be a smartass. Hold on. Yeah, my entire... Okay, so I'm going to restart the stream, guys. Hold on 1 second. Properties. Make sure everything's set to default. Desktop audio set to default. And be right back, y'all. Your Discord's been hacked. Oh, great. Hold on a sec. I don't think you're coming through on the stream. Wait, no, there's got to be something wrong here because default, okay. If I change to this, no. NCS so we don't get copyright. Interesting. So everything works. It's just super quiet. No, it's like so it's so loud that it's about to blow my freaking ears out. And like the levels it's picking up for some reason on my broadcaster software is like 10%. Like I've never seen anything like this. I'm just kind of at a loss. Like, what could be... So, turn off suppression. I'm going to add some gain. Just call it gain. I'm going to turn it up a lot.
I think it's...
okay, now you're loud. You should be really loud now. I've just turned this... Because I can see your levels. Keep speaking?
Yeah. Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Now I'm turning on stream, so... Be quiet for 1 sec. Okay, you're not really loud, but you're audible, so that is an improvement. This is... maybe I unplugged... Maybe I unplugged something to do with this one. I disassembled my computer a day ago, but I don't think I actually ripped out all of my connections, so... volume mixer... All of my levels need to be higher. OBS, you're allowed to be as loud as you want, buddy. Okay. People in the chat, how's his voice? Say something.
Hello. Hello. How's it going, chat?
Ooh, you probably just blew their freaking ears. It's so... The reading on my, Oh god, rip ear. I'm gonna play it and see what that sounded like.
Yeah, that was really loud, actually. I turned on the stream. But you gotta, at least I'm audible.
Hold on. I gotta, filters probably. Okay. I've turned the gain down to like 10, so...
Hello.
Be quiet for 1 sec. I gotta,
I think, was I okay there?
Hold on 1 second, I'm listening for it.
Hello.
Did you just say hello a second ago? Be quiet for 1 sec. I gotta,
Yeah, I did. I think, was I okay there?
Hold on 1 second, I'm listening for it. Did you just say was I okay there, or was I listening to that on stream?
Were you listening to that on stream? I think I'm okay now.
Okay, cool. Morden, you're in the chat. Is he okay? Is his voice too loud or too quiet? Because it seems to be fine. What happened was, for some reason, OBS, like, the volume, the mixer level of OBS was affecting how loud your voice was. Morden, is his voice pretty balanced in terms of how loud mine is? Should it be slightly louder, slightly quieter? Also, I think I sent you the link to the patch notes. Did I send you the link? Yes. So in our Steam chat, I've sent you the patch notes.
Yep, I saw it. I have it open.
All right. Don't say anything for
Hello?
1 second. Link to the patch notes. Did I send you the link? Yes. So in our Steam chat, I've sent you the patch notes.
Yep, I saw it. I have it open.
Okay, yeah, you are still loud, so I'm gonna turn you down just a little bit more. But it looks like I can just turn the gain off now. So I did something. Whatever. Cool. We're rocking and rolling.
Awesome.
All right. So starting off, out of the following abilities, 2 ability draft. I guess that's whatever. Like, I appreciate that they're trying to support that game mode, but like, I don't know. It's not even my jam, and I give it so much crap. But at the same time, I primarily play turbo mode now, just because I like to spam games.
Dirty turbo mode player.
Well, turbo mode's awesome because if you get that nightmare team, you aren't stuck with them for an hour, and people seem to be nicer in turbo mode in general. Like, people. It's really weird because there's a lot of times where I always spam Sven. If I'm not liking, and I know that the correct thing to do is farm because I'm better on my Smurf account at farming. I'm going to be able to get fatter than anyone on the other team unless they're just going like back-to-back rampages. And I'll feel bad about it because in a normal game, people will be pissed out and they'll be yelling at me and they'll be like, "You need to come fight with us." In turbo mode, they complain less. I feel like half of the reason that I lose a lot of the games I do is because I stop doing what I think I should be doing and do what people tell me to do because I don't want to destroy my team's attitude. But that's a whole nother tangent. Neutral Ancients bounty reduced by 10% on gold.
I think that's good. It's a small nerf to Sven and Medusa, just from a farming perspective, and also I guess TA.
I'm okay with the Sven nerf, but I hate that nerf in general. I hate it when neutrals get nerfed, even if they're ancients.
I mean, they were like stacking ancients was still like a really, really strong.
That's true.
It was still really strong.
Yeah.
And that's why those heroes were really good, right? So I don't know. I don't see it as a big deal. I think it balances the game a little more into the less farm, like more early fight that they've been trying to do for like a little while now. Making the game?
Do you see Medusa or Sven as a bigger problem prior to D? like in 707C.
Dusa.
I agree. I mean, again, I haven't been playing as much, but I have kept up with, you know how much I've been watching. And
Yeah.
I've been playing a lot of Sven myself. I don't play a lot of Dusa. I feel like it's harder. I'm pretty good at farming, but there's not many heroes where I can get to that farm and then actually be able to handle myself on them these days. But
Right.
Sven I can, Dusa I can't. And so I don't play a lot of Dusa. Dusa also just feels like in general, she's kind of boring.
I don't know. She's I've played her a couple times, like since the change, but I'm mostly like a position 4, position 3 kind of guy.
I pretty much only play
bottom
one.
3. I play a lot of that more than I like play mid or carry.
Okay.
And just what I've noticed, like having to play against a lot of Dusas, is she's hard to deal with unless you have heroes that can properly deal with her. Like she's one of those heroes that if you don't pick around like dealing with the Medusa, then you're gonna have issues at some point, because she's a pretty strong later now. That was her weak point originally, but now with the change to Mystic Snake and everything, and adding like her various farming steroids being a little bit easier to have, I just see her as being hard to deal with unless you have something like an invoker to burn her mana. Like Nyx is still pretty good against her, especially because once he gets his Zags, it's really hard for her to go high ground against that. I mean, anti-mage, sure, but even then, like I've seen Medusas beat anti-mages.
Yeah, the thing about anti, it's
just purely
it's like
strength.
a PL. It's like a PL's on paper good against Medusa because PL you usually get Diffusal, but at the same time Medusa does multi-shot, so she can actually clear. She's in that situation. I think the PL's a little bit better, but when you said anti-mage, I imagine that, and I'm like, like he kind of does.
It's not,
but
it's like he kind of does.
He kind of does, but you're in a weird position because you don't want him to be 6-slotted. Like it feels like anti-mage is one of those heroes where you're like, oh, he's only 3-slotted, and he's that late of a carry. Against a Medusa, it's like, well, we're both 4-slotted, so it's time for me to fight because I'm gonna get out carried.
Yeah,
which is really weird for anti-mage.
That's where I see it. Wait. It kind of goes into, because they're just two different heroes, right? Like Medusa's like a siege tank, right? Like she's gonna run into objectives and she's gonna sit there and hit things.
Slither into him. She's gonna like slowly slide.
Slither there.
Medusa the fat slug.
So like 25-30 minutes when anti-mage is still farming his 3rd item probably after Battle Fury Manta. So he's going to be farming his 3rd item, and Medusa's like, okay, let's go hit a bunch of towers now. And then pre-30 minutes, if you're an anti-mage and all your towers are dead, that game got like significantly more hard.
Yeah, you're basically done.
Much harder.
Yeah, if you can't...
Before 30 minutes, like having no towers is just really, really hard to deal with.
That was actually Navi's game plan on paper at TI2 and TI1. Their entire goal was just to bum rush all outer towers, and then Morden just mentioned in the chat the PL her ult just destroys PL illusions. But yeah,
I don't think that's a big deal, honestly, because
no, I don't think that
the way that PL works. Oh no, I think it's okay. She's allowed to counter some things.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Like you can't just like nerf a hero into the ground. I don't even think it hurts PL that much, just because he's able to get so many illusions so fast. Anyway, like sure, she'll turn on her ult, but like he can just doppel out and then go back in, and then what is she gonna do? I think
it gives her a lot of defensive potential that it destroys those.
Yes. She needs it. She really does need that for her ult, because it did kind of get nerfed.
Yeah.
But like I think it had like a cooldown increase and stuff like that.
It's kind of like in what's your MMR right now?
My MMR? Like I
forget if you're like
MMR was a thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I hate that. I hate this. I still just refer to MMR because, like, why are we trying to be? We've had 5 years where we could have used the system that StarCraft used, and we suddenly decide that after we and a bunch of other games have collectively just put that game into a coffin, that they had done that part of the game better. Like, it's so dumb. Like, it's kind of, I get the idea, because I think the idea is you look at that badge and you go, Well, we're similar
That
enough in
player has the
skill. We're similar
he
in
has
skill.
the potential to play at the badge level that he has. That's all that means. So it prevents people from being like, yeah, I'm actually like a 5K gamer, but when you're in like 4.1 or something like
Well,
that. Right?
what I think it does is it really blurs. It's like obscuring the last 2 digits of your MMR, so they see your 4 point something.
Yeah.
But even more so because people look. There's no longer, well, I'm 100 MMR better than you, so I should be making the calls. I think that was part of it.
Yeah. I agree. I really do.
Arcane Rune, mana cost reduction by 10%. I personally think this is cool. I'm fine with this.
Yep. That's fine.
Nerf.
Arcane Rune was still really strong. Yeah, it's a Storm nerf.
I think Storm deserved...
don't get me wrong. Quap nerf, slight Puck nerf too.
Mm-hmm.
So good on Puck.
I didn't even think about Puck. And Puck is like he's one of the most consistently like good heroes.
I think he's really hit or miss. Like, he really needs to be like, the team needs to be built around having a Puck.
Patch-wise,
this patch, I think he's okay.
Patch-wise, he's been relevant. Like, there's never been a period over the last like several years where Puck has been like 100% irrelevant. I don't think.
True. No, I think you're right.
Yeah.
For the record, I'm a high 4K MMR player.
Okay, so same as what I used to be.
Yeah.
Except with all the heroes. Aeon Disc cost.
Yeah, I play more than Lycan.
Yeah, but I play a really sick Lycan, or used to. Aeon Disc, I saw this. This item is just going to get fucking buffed until it's OP, because no one wants to build it, because, well...
It's going to be the Helm of the Dominator of 7.07.
I'm actually going to search Aeon Disc real quick, because Aeon Disc... Like, what is... You need to buff what it gets, not... Like, make the cost... See, 25% status resist should be, like, 50. Like, make it more expensive and make it bigger, because...
That...
Well, yes, it's going to be imbalanced.
That item is so good on Omni Knight, by the way.
Just and Huskar. It's broken as hell on Huskar.
And Huskar, yeah, it is. It's so good on Huskar.
The thing that's really interesting about the item... Like, here's the problem... Like, we know what's interesting about the item. You think about Omni, you think about Huskar, you think about Anti-Mage if you didn't want to put something else in the slot, which leads me to the problem with the item.
I would never get it on Anti-Mage, honestly.
It leads me to the problem with the item. It's a slot. You're going to use a slot on that.
It's a slot on heroes who don't want to get bursted down by certain lineups. That's what it is.
It's also...
So that's why it's really good on certain heroes.
What's up, Pobo? The thing that I think is bad about it... I'm actually going to change the title real quick. Guest. I'm just putting your name in the title. The thing that I think it's really... Here's the biggest problem with the item in my eyes, and that's... It's kind of an item you want in a core, and most of those cores you want to BKB on, and you're not going to use 2 slots on defensive items. It's like, do you get BKB and Lincolns? If you get BKB and Lincolns, you, like, it's the sort of game where you've been bullied a little bit. Like...
Yeah, that's the double defensive items.
Yeah, double big boy defensive items. Like, only defensive items.
Double expensive.
Yeah.
Expensive defensive items.
I mean, it's not actually that bad anymore.
I still see it.
Cheap. It's no. $33.50 now. It used to be like $4K. It's like $39 when it came out, and nobody was buying it. Like, I saw this item, and I think I said in my initial patch notes, this item is going to get buffed like hell, because for $4K, I could, like... That's treads of Vlad's, and then, like, I don't know, 500 gold. Like, that's a lot of gold.
Okay. I have a pretty good idea on which heroes I would put it on, and, I mean, the list is kind of short, so...
Exactly.
Just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Be really good on Leshrac, I think. It's really good on Necro. It's really good on Omni Knight, obviously, and Huskar. Other than that, I don't know. Like, maybe Death Prophet, if you were kind of just
the
wanting
wiki's
to end the
very
game.
Subjective, but the wiki, I don't even know if I'm gonna list them, because they're like, I don't know if I agree. Like, the heroes they list them on, it's like, yeah, it's a great item for those heroes. Thank you, Illuminati. I see y'all in the chat. I'm reading the chat as I'm talking. So like they list heroes it's good on, but I'm like, yeah, it's kind of good on everyone in that way. Like in the problem I have with it is when I see it, would I rather have a BKB?
I don't know. Like when they say that it's like recommended on like heroes like Dazzle and Oracle. Like,
Dazzle.
yeah, sure, but when's they gonna get 4K gold?
And if you get
like 60 minutes.
if I get like Enigma is a formidable disabler, and with Aeon Disc, he can turn around a team fight with Black Hole. Dude, if you get mini-stunned,
it's probably gonna get interrupted.
You're done. Yeah, the Aeon Disc will not protect. Like, this should be removed from this page. Like, that's... If you are an Enigma and you buy an Aeon Disc, and there is no BKB already in your inventory, we have a big problem. We have something to talk about. Unless there's 0 stun on the enemy team and they have like a Veno, like.
Yeah.
But even then, Veno's the status works on Veno stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to take a quick side note to mention, kind of the perks of having an item like that. I know this is like a really, really, like obscure thing, but did you see that video, where Draskell was playing Rubik against a Huskar?
Mm-mm.
So what he did, so he got an Aghanims, right? So he had Aghanims on Rubik, which upgrades Huskar's life break.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was with Scepter damage deal, it's 65%, right?
Mm-hmm.
Plus Rubik's offensive
int.
What's it called? What's his skill called? Null field.
Mm-hmm.
The offensive null field.
Oh.
So that's another 22%.
Yeah.
And then you got a Kaya on top of that, so another 10%. And he literally was walking around one-shotting people with life break as Rubik, and it was hilarious.
But that's not related to this, is it? Like, how would Aeon Disc help you if you had Aeon Disc?
If you're facing a Rubik with a Huskar on your team, and you're facing a Rubik that has those items, it would save you.
Oh, I thought you were saying it was good for the Rubik to prevent himself from taking damage when using the ulti. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's when I would get the item on every hero. Is when that happens.
Yeah, because then it's just magic resist plus status resist. Hobo in the chat asked, thoughts on snowball heroes this patch?
I think they're really good.
They're very good.
I think they're extremely strong.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think every single patch snowball heroes are getting the general trend over the last several years. And I really am talking in that long term here. The game is moving more and more towards snowball-y heroes because the game is moving more and more toward promoting fighting.
Well, okay. Look at the types of snowball heroes that you'll see. Like, you know how hard it is to deal with like a super farmed storm at 20 minutes? Like, if you don't have like 4 stuns on your team, like that's incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
For like everybody, like all skill levels, just having to face against things like a farm Tinker, a farm Storm Spirit, a farm Quap, like...
And all of those heroes benefit from Kaya, and it's not just Kaya, but in general, I feel like we've seen a lot of lower and mid-tier items that you get a lot out of, like Echo Saber is another one that really does a lot for the mid-game. Like, there's a lot of stuff in the 2,000 to 4,000, but really, like, 2,000 to 3,000 gold range that has been added that really, like... Echo Saber is something that I'm staring at when I'm essentially a 6-slotted Sven, and I'm like, do I really want to get rid of my Echo Saber yet? Because that slow is... being able to stack that with the stun of my Q is really, really nice. Like, I think in general there's been a lot more... slot value per gold and value per slot in items that have come out in the last couple of years. So it does, which
a lot of them don't cost as much money too. There are a lot of like the mid game items that are being super high.
That's what I mean, like the mid game items. Yeah, like the Echo Sabers and the Kayas, like.
Yeah. Like Zeus Kaya, like please, that's so hard.
He's one of the heroes it's made for.
Yeah.
I want to see Sanjiasha and Kaya. Like, I want to see them, like, maybe. I think the frog is probably sitting on his throne thinking about how I can give a special bonus for combining all three of these without just making
that would
them
be really
slot nice, but
it'd be really good on certain heroes.
I
Like
know, and
I
it's
could
it's
totally
cool.
imagine like a Kaya Yasha on Veno, Kaya Yasha on Gyrocopter, for example, who's also really strong this patch, by the way.
OD.
OD, yeah,
OD
that'd be
would
good on
love
OD.
that. You got the slow, you got the
Um,
movement speed, you got the durability, you got
SF, super strong on
Ye
SF.
that Kaya, Sanjin, Yasha. That would be like Shadow Fiend would probably benefit more from that than anyone.
Yeah.
An agility
If we're
hero
gonna
that's
go in
really
that sort of
inbound.
thing.
Butterfly bonus damage reduced by 5. I think this is just a nerf to Dusa.
It was really strong in general. A lot of agility carries were buying a butterfly just for its utility and being able to chase things.
Well,
It's just
it's
really
about
good.
fucking time because the item hasn't been like good. Like it's always been good, but for the cost, like it's always been good on agility heroes and even some heroes that aren't agility. Even before they added the flutter active, but you got to get super late in the game because it's one of your last items because you're like, well, it's like, do I want that or do I want a freaking Scotty or a heart or XYZ, you know?
You're gonna get 2 of the 3 probably on
Yeah.
most carry heroes.
Yeah.
Like agility carry heroes, you'd probably get 2 of the 3 on a lot of them. Like
Yeah.
obviously there are exceptions,
Well,
but
TB, like, let's say I'm Terrorblade.
well, yeah, you're gonna get
There's
the
no reason.
Scotty and the butterfly.
Well, there's no way that I'm going to get the butterfly before I've completed a couple other items. Like SNY is probably going to be pretty high on the list, or Manta if I'm going that direction. But I personally go SNY over Manta because, like, if you rush a Manta, you can rush an SNY on TB and it gives you something. If you rush a Manta, then you like more paper thin illusions because you have no stats.
Well, I mean, it does give you pretty good stats.
Well, not
They hit pretty hard the Manta illusions on Terrorblade, but even then, like it's about playstyle. It depends on what you want to do.
yeah,
If you
yeah.
want to end the game like pretty quick, you get a Sanjiyasha. If you got to like push out your lanes because they're just gonna like 5-man you, and you need to get like some split push going,
I think it
like get
depends
a
on the
Manta,
enemy
right?
lineup. Like I think that the problem that
Yeah,
I have with
absolutely.
the Manta is like all of the things that counter you now counter you a little bit harder versus if
Yeah.
you like making each individual illusion tankier is something I prioritize. But either way, I'm gonna do something along those either the Manta or the SNY, and then I'm gonna go for the Scotty, which takes a long time, and then
Yeah.
and I've got treads, and then I'm still not sure if my next item's a butterfly. Like I could still see myself going for a Daedalus or a heart. Probably not a Daedalus over the butterfly, but a heart. I could definitely see.
Depends on the game.
Yeah, and it's been like this for a very very long time. I just feel like 10 years ago butterfly was an item that I thought of a lot more than I did for the 2012 through like 2015 era. um, I'm happy it's
I
made
don't
a
know. It's still
comeback.
really strong.
Yeah.
I think it's probably one of the best like fourth item, fifth items
I
you can
think
get on a lot of
since
heroes.
the buff
It's
to
really good on troll.
flutter I think since the buff to flutter it's become one of the best.
It's really good on troll. If you get it on like Void with his backtrack level 25, like good luck killing him if he has a
Mm,
Lincoln's, right?
mm-hmm.
Good luck killing that Void
I kind of want to go do
with
that in
physical
turbo
damage.
now.
Dude, it's so crazy.
It's like
Unless you have a ton of spell damage, you're just not killing that Void.
the
He's just
refreshered Naga Siren build. The Valium build, as Nigma No Name called it. Helm
yeah.
of the Dominator, attack speed aura reduced by 5, or attack speed reduced by 5 and given 5 to the aura, so slight buff to it.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I think it needs a. This is a good place to start. You need to buff the crap out of that item. Like,
I think I was actually watching Kezu earlier today. He was streaming and he bought it on his. He was playing mid. He was playing a mid Sven, so you'd appreciate this. And he bought
ooh,
it as his first item because he was against
what?
a Quap, and she could just not out harass him with all the regen that he had from the item.
Mm,
Like he
yeah.
just didn't care. He just was able to farm as much as he could. I mean, he did get ganked like a fair amount from like the
It seems like a
other
very
heroes
safe
against the enemy
item.
team, but
Like if I go Dominator on Sven, the problem with Dominator that I have isn't that Dominator is technically bad, because when you think about it, like the standard for a long time on Sven was Dominator because you could use it to stack creeps.
yeah,
And really, it
you can
probably
still do that.
Yeah, it should have always probably have been Mask of Madness, but the fad back in 2014 was like really, you get the Helm of the Dominator and stack Ancients,
Yeah.
and you can do that today. The thing that makes it bad is that Mask of Madness is really, really good because it makes you farm faster and lets you fight better.
Yeah, of course.
So
and, I mean, again, it's going to be really situational.
Yeah, I think it's a
he
stylistic
played it
thing.
in his lane really good, and I think it's still a really, really strong choice on certain heroes that might be in a lane where they're not necessarily supposed to be.
I think this.
You know what I mean?
I think this is an item that's going to be. We're going to find instances where it's way too strong on a couple of heroes, and then everyone else is just going to be like, whatever.
So where I see it being really good, like I still think it's quite strong. I've seen a couple of mid gyrocopters get it. Venomancer, it's really strong on because he's always going to be push related, and like just having that extra like tank utility just makes Venomancer it's just what the hero does. Viper, still really good on. I think it's quite strong on Viper. It just gives him it makes him bulkier basically. I could see it on Dusa. I don't think she relies on health regen as much as those other guys, but
another thing is Dusa doesn't like the Mask of Madness nerf. I think is the most significant thing in these patch notes, that and the Ancient Gold, and both of those conveniently nerf both Dusa and Sven because Mask of Madness is awesome on that hero.
Yeah,
like low key, like
it's
like the biggest secret that everyone should know.
I've also seen it on other heroes. Obviously on Beastmaster, it's quite strong just because he has the steroids from Inner Beast, and it just makes him be able to take towers and objectives and even kill heroes with Roar with that extra creep is just really, really, really easy for him. So I still think the item has its place, but again, it's pretty hero related and pretty like based on how much farm you got in the early game, because you need to get it early. Like it needs to be your first item, or else it's useless.
Dominator,
I think,
or Mask of Madness.
Yeah, Dominator.
Yeah,
it needs to be your first item, maybe second item if you get like another small item like a drums or something like that.
Dominator to me, like it's weird because when I looked at in the past when I've looked at Dominator and Mask of Madness, I've looked at them in like completely different respects, but really they both do the same thing. One just like Dominator to me, it seems like the more conservative option because it's the more it's the more defensive of the two. But usually the more conservative option requires the like less mechanical skill, and now you have to also remember to stack stuff to get the most out of this item. So I don't know. I think Dominator is still, looking at this through the lens of Lycan, I don't give a shit about this. You need to buff it more.
It's not going to affect a lot of people.
Yeah, you need to buff it more. I also I figured out one night right when 707 came out, I spent the thought just crossed my mind at like 2 a.m. when I was I was about to go to bed messing around, and I thought of something and ended up with like a text doc and a calculator and the Dota wiki, and I was just doing math for like 4.5 hours, and I figured out this new build for Lycan essentially that was around the same amount of money as my old stuff that could backdoor buildings in the current patch, like reliably. And I was like, this absolutely, I was so excited about it, and then I went to bed and woke up at like 2 in the afternoon, and when I woke up, the patch came out that increased backdoor regen from 25 to 45 to 40. Or that damage reduction. Not regen. It was for the Alchemist Wisp combo. I was so pissed. I was so freaking pissed.
Yeah. You know, speaking of Dominator, I think it's also good on Clinks, like a mid Clinks. I think it'd be really good on him.
Really?
You know why?
Because you have a hero.
You dominate a creep,
and then you can eat it whenever you want.
And then you just, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll always be there, and it'll always have more health than regular creeps. So you're gonna be like crazy strong.
And you don't care what, you don't care what you dominate.
No, you can do anything. Like, it just makes Clinks like that much more versatile. Because my biggest issue with Clinks and why I hate playing him is because I hate chasing down creeps
Yep,
and
yep,
using
yep, yep, yep.
death packs
100%.
on shit.
100%.
I hate it. I hate it
Um,
so much.
set movement
So I
speed.
think that's really strong on him. But
Um,
again, it's not something that a lot of people pick up because there's so many other items that Clinks needs to like do what Clinks does. Like he needs like an Orchid or something if he wants to burst something down, or he gets a Deso or something. So
yeah, I prefer
if
Deso
he's
on him,
farming
but
really
you
well
like
in the early,
you kind of need both. You need Deso
yeah,
and Orchid if you want to successfully be able to just pop up and
it's a
blow
lot of
people
farm,
up.
man.
Yeah, I know.
It's a lot of farm.
It sucks. I hate when
So
people rush
I see.
Bloodthorn
I
on
think
him,
it has
though.
a place in that. Yeah, no, it's terrible. Never do that, please.
Like,
Talking to you, chat.
oh, you got a Bloodthorn. Excellent, we've won. What do you mean we've won? Well, that means that now you're 6-slotted, right, bitch? Like, that better have been your... If you have a Bloodthorn and you aren't 6-slotted, it's because you're waiting on your boots of travel to replace your treads. Like, you have no TP in your inventory if you have a Bloodthorn. So, Hurricane Pike,
like,
cooldown. Sorry.
Yeah. Even then, like a lot of Clinks like skip Hurricane Pike, even though it's a great item on him, just because he's
I
hard
skip
to
it
farm
almost
with.
every game because it's the only time I skip it. The only time I don't skip it is if because I think I can benefit from the range and I need some sort of additional escape for whatever reason. It's very rare that I get Hurricane Pike on Clinks because he needs lots of mana and he needs lots of damage. He needs lots of things.
Yeah.
Manta?
Yeah. Manta's always good. I don't care that it got nerfed. But people are still gonna buy it. Gives you too much utility.
I don't mind it being nerfed because, like, I prefer strength heroes, so goodbye. Also, I feel like TB is extraordinarily average this patch, and nerfing Manta just makes him worse, but it wasn't designed to hurt him, of course. It's mostly a Dusa hit, I think.
It's still good on a lot of heroes. Like almost all agility heroes will go it if they need to.
Anti-mage
really,
still getting it.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't change anything.
Still gonna get it.
Yeah, this changes statistics.
Void's still gonna get it.
That's it. Yeah.
Yep.
Mask of Madness. How big of a change do you think this actually is?
I mean, it's pretty significant in a lot of respects, but at the same time, the heroes that get it are still gonna get it just because it's that good on them.
I think
you're still gonna see Svens with it.
Yeah, I think it basically gets like so it might be too much armor for Medusa now, at least in the early game, but it's like Sven doesn't care.
Terrorblade it's great on.
I always forget to get it on him.
Like it's so good on Terrorblade still. Like it okay, you need to use it in the right situation, obviously, but it's still a great farming steroid for him. Like, you don't want to silence yourself forever and then realize you need to sunder somebody and then you can't, obviously. So, you should be careful when you use it, but I still think it's a great farming steroid. And it builds into items that Terrorblade likes to get, like Butterfly and...
yeah, that's true.
And Satanic, so I still think it's really strong on him.
I'm trying to think about... I feel like there's something the quarterstaff builds into that Sven wants, because I always end up just selling my Mask of Madness.
Echo Saber.
Yeah, but I already have one. Like, my typical build is Rush Mask of Madness, Treads, Echo Saber, Blink.
I mean, he can build a Butterfly. It's pretty good on him.
I'm not building a Butterfly on Sven.
Can.
I mean,
like against
it would have to
team that has like a lot of physical damage.
Yeah, I would have to be really into that evasion.
Yeah, like if the other team has a troll, or like an Ursa or something like that, yeah, I'll buy Butterfly.
I don't know. On Sven specifically,
maybe TA.
Sven specifically is a hero that one of the reasons I like is that his builds are pretty inflexible in terms of what I do with him. Like you can do a lot of different item builds with him, but
you just get so much damage. You don't necessarily
exactly. Yeah,
you
if you hit hard enough with Sven, you don't care. You just as long as you can stun somebody before they like used a Ghost Scepter, then you just click them and they die twice. Like someone in the Reddit Discord, the Dota Reddit Discord debated me for like an hour and a half about why he thought the 30 damage talent was better than the 30 movement speed. And it's like what do you think?
Depends on the game, I think. I'm not
100% of the time I'm
like
gonna go
again.
movement speed.
Okay, first it depends on your items, your item build. Second, I think it depends on the heroes you're against. Like if they have super mobile heroes, you have to make a decision. Either you can try to burst them down before they actually use their mobility, or you can just try to chase the shit out of them.
But is 30 damage gonna be will that make the difference?
It's also a farming steroid too. It makes them hit creeps a lot
So
easier.
is movement speed.
So yeah. So I mean it's a trade-off depending on the game. But again, like I see it as just like a personal preference.
I just always
Like,
see it as like when you're level 25, you're like, I really wish I had 30 movement speed instead of 30 damage.
Yeah, but then you got to get to level 25, right?
That's true.
There's a lot of game between level 1 and level 25.
Or level 15 and level 25.
Personal preference. Yeah, there's still a lot of
Yeah.
game to play unless you obviously you're crushing people, but
I also spam turbo.
like, yeah, if you're crushing
so
people, I would rather get the move speed, but
I also spam
yeah.
turbo mode, so I'm like, meh, if I'm just going to farm for 15 minutes, then I don't care. Like
yeah.
I think
you can't base these patch notes on turbo mode. This is
I know.
Stop it.
I know that, but I admitted that I haven't been. For that one instance, I was. Which is why I admitted it. I think the movement speed. I think the only instance that I go for the damage is if you're like really behind and you need it in a fight. Like, and you're
Absolutely.
That's like you're desperate as hell when you're going for the damage. If you get that damage, you are so far behind that you don't care about movement speed because you don't imagine a situation in which the enemy is running from you. Like,
yeah. Again, it depends. Like if they have something like a Huskar or something like that, I'll get damage. I don't give a shit. That Huskar's not gonna run from you. You're gonna be faster than that Huskar. Like no matter what. You have Warcry, remember? Mask of Madness gives speed.
Yeah.
You probably have a blink. Like,
That's
or like, say they have some other hero that kind of runs away from them. Like even like a lone druid or something like that. Like you probably just want to kill him before he roars you. Like you're just gonna BKB anyway. You might as well just kill him with the damage.
I typically think about.
You're not gonna chase the guy down.
I typically think like the damage is pretty much only defensive. Like, and by defensive I mean you need to win a fight because the 30 movement speed is going to it's going to net you more hits, assuming that you're going Echo Saber. Because
I'd also get the damage because, like you said, it gives you more burst on your Echo Saber. But I'd also get it again against illusion heroes, like PL. If you're facing a PL, like you picked your Sven to counter the PL, I'd get damage. You're gonna be slow as shit because he's gonna diffusal you anyway. Your move speed's not helping you there.
Yeah, that's true.
Whereas the damage, you'll actually clear stuff a lot faster.
I don't know if I'm ahead, I'm probably still going to go for the movement speed, but. If I'm having trouble with him, then yeah, that could make the difference if I buff that with ult. Speaking of which, just total tangent. What do you think of his level 25 talent? Which do you typically go for? Like it's pretty situational. Yeah, I think it's situational, but
if you get the Stormhammer dispels enemies, I think you gotta go for the Stormhammer cooldown and build an item around like spamming it. But again, like Sven doesn't have a huge mana pool, so I think the 40 God Strength, like with his standard kind of Sven build, is a more common choice. But in certain games, I can definitely see those two left talents being really good. It's basically like a free. It's basically like they can't buy Ghost Scepters against you, right? So
Zero in the chat says. I usually buy SNY with Sven, not Echo Saber. Zero, you're a heretic. You are a heretic.
That's fine. I like that too.
I like it. It's the problem I have with that item is it costs more money, and Echo Saber is really good.
You would just go the 2 mana regen at level 10, and then
I think you have to.
Strength.
I think you have to.
And then you would just get the SNY. Because again, it makes you farm faster because you can move faster. The amount of attack speed you get from the item, kind of like overall, like I think there was some math, but I think they've tweaked the numbers like since then. But I think generally, like a Sanji Yasha will actually net you more attacks overall than Echo Saber.
Depends on how long. Depends on how many attacks. Yeah.
Over the course of a longer period of time, you will you will do more damage with an SNY versus an Echo Saber. But if you just
It's
need to
also going
kill
to be hero
something
dependent
real
because it depends on
fast,
your base attack time.
so if you need to just kill something real fast, like say you're against like an anti-mage or some shit, like you want to kill that guy real fast. So I would more or less go an Echo Saber again.
I also love the I love the slow that comes with Echo Saber.
Yeah, but I mean, you get a MAME with SNY too, so I mean,
That's
it's
true.
still there.
That's
and
very
it, like,
true.
procs
I
all the
didn't. I
time.
wasn't. Yeah, the MAME is you get somebody with stack them together, then people just can't run unless they BKB, where they go for the.
It's a lot of money on two mid-game items.
Yeah, I know. I'd never do that. And I also I typically go for the 25 lifesteal and the 40 god strength, and the 25 lifesteal means now I don't have to consider satanic. I just get rid of my Mask of Madness and replace it with like an AC. Because I don't have to worry about the lifesteal.
It frees up a slot for him.
It frees up a slot, which is big. Basically. When do you get the Stormhammer dispels enemies? Like, what do you get that against?
Ghost Scepters, Mass Ghost Scepters.
You
just kind of jump in and then they freak out and then you just Stormhammer them.
Does it dispel the whole AoE?
Yep, I think so.
Really?
Yep.
Oh my god. And
it's really good in certain situations.
And they're targetable. Ooh. I never thought about that.
Yeah, it's really good in certain situations.
This is actually blowing my mind. I'm gonna. The thing is, I hate not having the lifesteal, but if you're in a situation where you need to dispel Ghost Scepters, you don't care about lifesteal because you're gonna tear through those heroes.
Yeah, like for example, this was back when before his talent tree got changed again. His level 20 talent was actually like 20 evasion or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I forget what the other one was, but I think it was like a lot of like strength. Most people ended up getting like the stats or the strength or whatever the other one was from Dota buff.
Mm-hmm.
But I was against a team that consisted of like a Chaos Knight. What else? It was like a Chaos Knight. They had like a mid. I forget what it was. I think it was a TA mid, and then they had like a Chaos Knight, and then they had like something in the offlane, like Tide Hunter or something like that, just some sort of initiator. And they would initiate on our team and like try to blow up people as fast as possible, as a TA and a Chaos Knight do.
Mm-hmm.
And what actually saved me that game was getting that evasion on Sven, because you were able to evade enough that you could just survive the initial onslaught onto you, and then Satanic, Warcry, the whole thing, and just like get your health back up. And we were able to turn, I think, like 2 or 3 fights and win the game because of that.
Damn. Yeah, that was it was 20%. All right.
So
we got
I just see it as something that's, again, really situational, and it really depends on the game. But I think that's what talents are good for, is being able.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. I think unless you're like me and you play Lycan that away. And even with Lycan, like they've done a good enough job with his talents, specifically his later game talents, that I look at them and yeah, there's a time where I want 4 wolves, and there's a time where I don't. Meteor Hammer, channeling time reduced, half a second, that's fine. Necro Book. This is...
you skip by the Meteor Hammer? It's just not something you like?
Well, I mean, it's like... We're almost at 5:30, or we're almost at when I think you had to leave, so I was just going to try to touch on...
No, I can go for a little bit longer.
Okay.
I can go for like another...
Yeah, Meteor Hammer, I think it needed... Like... I don't know. When I saw the reduced damage to buildings, I kind of lost interest, because I'm a fucking rat. But in general, I think the item's a little bit weak. Like, when you see a Meteor Hammer in when you see it in a pro game, you're just like, this is their way of BMing you. Like, it's almost like profanity in the chat to see someone buy a Meteor Hammer in a professional match. Like,
no, you know what it is? It's when you have a team and you put it on your utility hero, so whatever your utility hero is. But you put it on
use when they're already stunned or in a team fight.
Do a lot of damage. Like, they do not have building damage heroes.
Right? That's true.
That's really what you use it for. And I also saw another thing. It works in conjunction with Sticky Napalm on Batrider. So if you have like a 5 stack on somebody and you lasso them and Meteor Hammer, it's gonna do so much damage.
What do you mean it stacks with
like the damage increase that Batrider does on heroes through Sticky Napalm's effect? like also works on items. So it works on Meteor Hammer.
Ooh. Whoa. Holy moly, that's a lot of damage.
It's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
Yeah.
That
so
is...
I think it's a pretty good item on certain heroes. It's also good with like someone like Elder Titan, I think.
It does 375 total to buildings. So that's pretty good. It's pretty decent.
Like,
I think the cooldown I think the
Elder
cooldown
Titan?
is the problem. I think the cooldown needs to be like 30 seconds instead of 40. Maybe 25 even. I think the item is just like currently like dumpster tier. Like if it's not with a new item, if it's not good enough that I am thinking about it a lot, I'm not going to buy it.
Yeah. You have to like go into a game like knowing you're going to buy a Meteor Hammer.
There's not a it's not like Kaya or even like I feel like it's not even like Aeon Disc where like when I pick Huskar I could see myself at like 30 minutes going like, or even 20 minutes like what am I getting next? Oh yeah, that Aeon Disc, that stuff that's supposed to be really good.
Yeah.
I think a Meteor Hammer would really round me off here. I don't think anybody's ever like when you get a Meteor Hammer, you've got it on your schedule. It's on your calendar.
You get it on a bear, like a lone druid bear, that has because it has the mana.
Because
he like have eggs.
It can do that when
you can just rat with it.
Well, yeah, he can do it when he's out of range, right? Like even if you don't have eggs.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Meteor Hammer lone druid.
It's gimmicky as hell.
I'm gonna go do this.
You're gonna get flamed, 100% for buying Meteor Hammer on lone druid, but. Like,
I'm not buying it on Lone Druid, I'm buying it on Spirit Bear. Necro.
Okay, that's all I wanted to talk about with that item.
Necro, that is... Wait.
I'm indifferent.
Hold on.
I don't think it's that big of a change to the item.
Oh, I misinterpreted something, but yeah, no, it's not a big change.
I don't really care about it.
It's just designed to make it so that it does the same amount of damage, but it reduces mana more.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that will maybe you won't think about it and you won't notice it, but there will be games lost and won because of this. For sure.
Maybe.
No, absolutely. Like there will be. It'll
be clutch in certain situations.
Yeah, like when you don't have enough mana to blink away or TP away or something because you got that one hit from a Necro book. I remember the good old days where I would die with Lycan and then my Necro books would actually kill like 2 straight people after I was already dead because you could outfarm people. You could have Necro 3 at like 16 minutes and Necro was so fucking broken that you could just kill. People would have to run away from them.
It was so strong.
It was awesome.
Like, it was so strong. But...
Nullifier.
I think it's fine. It needs to justify the cost for how expensive that item is.
I think
that's an expensive item.
I think the Nullifier is like secretly the most broken item in Dota.
It's really good.
It's really
very good item.
It's one of those ones that like eventually people are gonna figure out and we'll see it every game and it's gonna get nerfed to the ground.
I got absolutely demolished by a Bloodthorn Nullifier Arc Warden like a week ago. I got absolutely just dumpstered by one of those. It's not a fate I wish on anybody.
Nullifier,
like, what was the other one? Absolutely just ruined my day. Bloodthorn.
Ooh, that's actually
it was late
awesome.
game. I was a troll, and he had an Arc Warden. Or like he was Arc Warden, and he absolutely just crushed.
I have never.
Like, I couldn't even stand there.
I played with this one dude. This was like a year or two ago too. So this is back when I was like still pretty decent. And I played with. I think it was actually the Males. If you're watching Males, he was like 2K MMR, and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna pick Arc Warden. I'm pretty good Arc Warden. I wasn't playing on my Smurf. I was playing on my main account, which was still 4,700 at the time. So I was like, I mean, if you're sure, and he picks it. And he got like the first 5 kills in the game were all him. I'm just like, why don't you just only play Arc Warden and get to 5k? Like it was absolutely absurd. Like it was
one of those heroes, man.
It was so awesome. Is the Alchemist change worth discussing? Gatekeeper.
No, I think he needed something.
Yeah, he needs a slight bump. Bane. Leave Bane alone. I'm okay with Bane.
Was really strong.
I'm okay with him being strong. I'm okay with him being strong.
He's fun to play. I like Bane. Bane's a good hero.
Yeah. It's
in the right team, he's really good.
Yeah.
You run around with people doing 300 pure damage, like you're gonna kill some people.
Bane is
you run around with like a pudge or something.
Mask of Madness Bane
you're gonna
is
kill
still
a lot
fun.
of people. It's still fun. I saw Mask of Madness Bane absolutely dumpster an anti-mage.
I was playing with this Veno once that I was flamed. This was like probably 3 years ago. This Veno I was playing with, I was flaming so bad because he went all right click items, and he was like medium level farm. Like I was playing Lycan and I was having an average game, and he was below my farm but only going right click build, and I saw an anti-mage jump on him, and he killed the anti-mage, and I was just like, how did this? What? Like watching anti-mage will occasionally get dumpstered by supports, which is really fun to watch.
Yeah,
because
I still think like that's the proper build. Like you pick your Venomancer, and then they pick an anti-mage to counter you, because traditionally anti-mage is very good against Veno.
Yeah, the magic
buff,
resist.
like he has a high win rate, right?
The game goes on long enough, you're better.
You go right click build. You get like Silver Edge, Sanji Asha, something like that, with your pike, and you just like sneak up and right click the shit out of him and hope he doesn't have blink.
Brew, slight nerf. I don't know if he needed
That's fine. Brew was so annoying. I hate Brew.
Brood, I don't think Brood needed a nerf of any kind, but this is fine.
Oh, she is stupid, dude. Like, were you not watching VP?
I mean, yeah,
like
I saw all those games
at the summit.
I mean,
that was awful.
Yeah, you're right. All I know is like a week or two ago, Wired was complaining to me he didn't like the changes as much, and he's a Brood picker, so. But on paper, when I read them, I thought to myself, this is so much better.
That's one, like, again, Broodmother is one of those heroes. He's in the same aspect as the Arc Warden. Like, if you have somebody who's really good on him and the enemy team is not prepared for that last pick, then like you're just gonna have a great game.
Yeah,
you're gonna dumpster the shit out of him.
I mean, even if you're just vaguely familiar with the hero and he's in the right lineup, like you're gonna dumpster everybody. Yeah, just the nature of the hero.
Absolutely crush him.
Super niche.
And that goes into our previous conversation about snowballing heroes.
Yeah, Broodmother is a baller snowballing hero. Broodmother's like the only hero that I think is considered a snowballing hero that I enjoy playing because it's so push heavy.
Yep.
Chen, slight buffs all around. That's fine, I think.
Yeah, Chen needs something.
I was about to say
the lowest picked hero in the game right now.
You can be a little bit liberal with your distribution of Chen buffs. I don't think we're gonna see threads on r/Dota 2 that say Chen is broken anytime soon.
Yeah, because like nobody plays him.
I'm pretty sure if you buffed his base damage by 20, nothing would happen. Like literally, because he's played so rarely. Like nobody, I'm pretty sure nothing would happen if you buffed his base damage by 20.
If you're not careful, he'll be like, what was that, like TI4 era Chen? That was just like crushing the early game. You just take all of the towers, basically, in like 15 minutes.
Shadow Shaman is kind of like Shadow Shaman's base damage is like 70 or something ridiculous.
Yeah,
like Shadow Shaman
is really strong. Shadow Shaman's annoying to deal with.
Shadow Shaman is extremely good right now, and I've always been a fan of Shadow Shaman.
I think he's good in proper lineups.
Dazzle, slight buff. I think that's fine.
That's fine.
I don't know if he
still has his counters.
Yeah, I don't know if he needed it, but that's
fine. He still
fine.
has his counters.
Yeah. Earth Spirit, can you just like stop? Like he's already Yes, I know he's still good, but you have to keep like God. He's
one of those gateway heroes again.
I know.
If you're really good on him,
but he's
like you're just gonna absolutely ruin the game.
The problem is it's like Invoker. Like Invoker's been balanced. Like the problem with Invoker and the problem with Earth Spirit, and to a certain
Invoker gets picked a lot more than Earth Spirit in pubs, 100%.
Well, yeah, and the problem with all of these heroes in both pub and professional tier, Invoker, of course, is going to get picked more. But the problem is they are now balanced around players that are next to perfect with them. And I feel like if you are a god tier Earth Spirit, like the way Jirax was when the hero first came out, I feel like you should have to the enemy team should have to pay a ban for that if you are that freaking good. Like, I would like to see...
Well, I mean, they still do.
I would like to see these heroes that are so skill shot dependent and so few players can master them. I'd like to see the risk to reward, I guess, buffed. So, like, make the skills harder to hit, but keep the amount of damage. Like, don't nerf the damage they do. So, in other words, reduce the number of people that can dominate with this hero. Don't make it so the best player at this hero in the world is worse at him.
I don't know. I think Earth Spirit's fine. Like,
I think he is too, but in general, he's just a hero that, oh look, he got nerfed, just like every other patch for the last since he was born.
It's the joke with the
Darkseer vacuum.
Increase.
Darkseer
vacuum.
vacuum.
The Darkseer vacuum.
Darkseer vacuum.
Increase.
Darkseer's vacuum has, it used to be 11 seconds shorter. Like in TI2, it was like 17 seconds. Yeah.
That'd be so good.
It was.
Now. You'd see Darkseer a lot more.
Well, they've kind of, like with talents and with his ulti, and they've just generally had to buff the hero a little bit because over the years they've just slowly stacked up. They've made it so you just treat that like your ultimate now. Like, it's actually useless to put a point into. Like, vacuum just sucks. Like, you want 4 points in it, and for three of those 4, like, the only thing you're doing with it is like cliffing people, which you can't do anymore. And
they brought it back. You can cliff people again.
Isn't it pretty hard?
You know why it doesn't matter anymore? Yeah, it's hard to, but you can still cliff people.
Why doesn't it matter?
But everybody starts with a TP now. So
oh yeah,
if you cliff somebody, they're just gonna TP out.
Yeah. So I mean, the only thing you're using it for is to set up your ult, and its cooldown is starting to get up. It's just like almost as long as your ults. So you basically just have to put 4 skill points into something that isn't your ult to effectively use your ult. So it just is a crap skill.
Yeah, that's why Darkseer is not popular.
Enigma,
it's just not in the meta right now.
Enigma buff. I really like this buff on the speed because
yeah, they were really slow.
His Nickelodeons
I think that buffs offlane Enigma.
Like, I would like to see him even. I would like to see them buff more than this. Even like maybe just make the level 4 ones move faster. Like make the level 4 ones like 400 move speed or something. Like, just because
would be a little much.
Well, I mean, make them equivalent to a hero, to like whatever the hero average with brown boots is.
Medusa got nerfed. Thank you. That's fine. I'm fine with the nerfs.
Yeah, Medusa. That's not too bad. I don't think Medusa. I don't want to see Medusa get nerfed into the ground, and that should be fine. Morphling. What is this?
I think she's okay right now.
What is Morphling?
Morphling got absolutely dumpstered.
Morphling, like,
he's really bad.
He stuck his head out of the trash can for like 40 seconds, just like nervously looking around before someone shoved him back into the trash. Like,
he's awful now.
He was like shit awful before, and then became almost relevant, and now he's crap. Like,
he was overpowered. He was really, really strong.
Was he? Because I remember.
Yeah.
I mean, I have
a guy on my friends list who literally spammed Morphling and effectively raised his metal from. He was level 1 ancient, and he became divine just by playing Morphling.
Oh my god,
within
that's really
like
good.
2 weeks.
Hmm.
Yeah, he played a lot, but he just played Morphling, and he got divine from Ancient 1.
Well, he won't be doing that with
that
Morph.
hero is really, really strong.
Yeah, that hero
was. You know how you have like status updates from like your friends on your feed or whatever it's called. For like a week, I just was seeing like
upgrades.
No, he would just get a rampage. You would just see him with like rampages from Morphling. I had like 5 of them in my feed.
Damn, I really hate when heroes. I mean, I know it's necessary in some cases, but I hate it when heroes are nerfed, where they force you where like they take like their 2 best talents and then they move them down to the same level. So then you have to pick...
And that's what happened. Morphling is really bad right now.
Yeah, that's what's making him dumpstered.
Yep.
Like that one change, you suddenly go from, and that also kind of nerfed Bane a lot because you no longer, like the meme build Mask of Madness thing on Bane, 100% you can still do, but if you do it now, you're like, I just put all of my money on a single number in roulette. Like you can't, like all his best supporting talents, you have to like decide not to get if you're going for the Mask of Madness Bane these days.
Night Stalker.
Like, does this matter at all?
Strong early
it's
roam.
like this
Yeah,
is...
he was really strong early roam.
This is so... It's a very small nerf. It's fine, I think.
I mean,
Omni
with boots
nerfs.
and Hunter in the Night level 2.
Yeah, well, Night Stalker is just...
pretty good.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. This is such an irrelevant nerf. The thing I will say is that I like that they left level 4 the same. I always want to see level 4 like kept the same. If you're just
makes him less strong early. That's all.
Yeah, I'm fine with this, and it's not really significant, I don't think.
Yeah, it doesn't ruin the position for Night Stalker having eggs.
Yeah,
like in the late
not
game.
at all.
It doesn't really touch it. So.
You wouldn't notice if we
That's
didn't
kind of
tell
what
you.
the hero does.
Yeah, Omni. I think this is enough to hit him.
I was an Omni spammer.
Oh, you dirty human.
Yeah, the purification cast range nerf is pretty big. Like I really think you need a
125 is a load.
So like I was having issues. I was playing him after, and I was having issues. Just
mana regen talent. What's his other...
never get that talent anyway.
What's the other one?
Deegan Aura.
Oh yeah,
increase.
well. Yeah, no one cares about this talent. Guardian Angel cooldown rescale, I think that's fine, but that was like cumulatively, I think the big one here is the cast range.
Yeah, it's the cast range.
Yeah.
Like level 20, you should be mana self-sufficient enough. Like I think it's a tip.
Yeah, that's why I'm wondering
by level
why,
20,
why does this exist?
I don't know.
Like it's
I never get it.
When I look at Sven, I'm like, you don't need mana regen at level 10 because you're going to, if you can tread toggle correctly, and then you can get Echo Saber, and then by the time you've replaced Echo Saber and treads, your stats will compensate. It reminds me of this. Pudge, meat hook mana cost.
You know I'm a Pudge spammer.
Why does Pudge need a nerf?
He's picked a lot still.
In professional games?
No, this was a pub nerf.
Who gives a is he? Like, hold on. I'm going to Dota buff.
They always nerf heroes right before they release the Arcanas. Like, they nerfed Jug. Like, right when they released his Arcana, he got a big nerf.
Is that actually, like, 100% real? Like, have they always done a nerf to heroes before releasing Arcana?
Most of them, yeah.
Okay, Pudge has a 53.87% win rate. Right now.
Yeah. I know he's still pretty strong. Like the change to his talents were like huge for him.
He's the most popular hero with his wow, he's good.
Yep.
He's
Pudge is good. You not know that?
Well, I mean, I've seen him in a lot of my games lately, and he's definitely been a threat. I've died more than once because of not even the hook, just because he can walk up Dismember and then I'm stunned forever. The spell lifesteal's pretty big. The rot damage is huge. It's really nice. The GPM and the cooldown talents are both big.
It really depends on how your game's going, and then you can make your decision at level 20. That's really what I see it. And then it depends on the heroes, because a lot of the time I really like the Flesh Heap stack strength, just because you get so much health.
If you are
the
balling
3 Dismember duration.
Yeah, if you're balling out of control, then you can go with the Flesh Heap stack, and now you're gonna be really, really, really like tough. But the Dismember is really good if you're in like a game you care about or a game that's close, just because you have so much lockdown.
Yeah. Like if they had like a Sven and then like a bunch of utility heroes, I would probably get the Desperation.
6-second lockdown on a 17-second cooldown that pierces BKB. That's huge.
Yeah. It's really good.
That's huge.
Wow. For
Wow.
the record, I've got 622 games on Pudge.
Ugh.
and I have a 54.2% win rate.
You are above the average by about 1/10 of a percentage.
Thank you.
I can't believe Pudge has a 53% win rate and PA has a 50.17% win rate. Like, what is
Pudge is good, man.
what is good? Why did Pudge has a higher win rate than Jug, Sven?
Yep.
Pudge has a higher win rate than Sven. Holy shit. That is insane. Because Sven's like, he's like the easiest hero ever to like destroy the world with.
Yeah, people who play Pudge a lot.
That's true.
And then that kind of reflects like the hero.
Yeah.
Because it's not like something that you only like pick up sometimes. Like, yeah, I kind of feel like
you
Pudge.
have
it's
to
like
be a
players
good
who play Pudge.
Because
like the hero.
Well, if you don't,
so
if you aren't a Pudge picker, then playing Pudge is so alien. The rules of playing Pudge is so different from every other hero because of the fact that you're like with Marana. Puppy famously said, "I don't pick Marana for Dendi because he'll spend too much time landing arrows and not farming, and the hero needs farm." With Pudge, like you land the hook and you win. Like, or you don't win, and if you either way, like that's all you do. You land hooks. If you land hooks, you're doing your job.
I know. Pudge is one of those heroes. Like you don't really get it because you're a dirty position 1 player. But
I'm a dirty.
Pudge,
I'll play
Pudge
3.
Is one of those.
I'll play 3.
Pudge is one of those heroes that's like the quintessential roamer. Like,
he is 100%. He's like a support in that sense.
I play him as support every single game. I don't put him anywhere else. But he's just one of those heroes that if he's off the map and you have a hero that is kind of susceptible to getting like
which is anyone
ganked, or like one that doesn't have a good escape. So,
which is,
for example,
if you're hook dismembered, even if you're anti-mage, like all that's pure damage, so you're still probably dead. Or at least, the hook is,
and the rod isn't.
Well,
the hook's pure.
It also doesn't matter because anti-mage probably doesn't have points in his passive if you're not like in the late game. So
yeah, I don't know. Like Pudge is not that good against anti-mage. He can't catch him.
Yeah, I thought his ulti was pure for some reason. I know the hook is, but I just remember seeing. Like I remember being surprised recently by something being pure damage, and I thought it was that.
Like obviously Pudge has his issues. Like he's really bad against like Nyx. He's bad against a lot of stuff.
Well, Nyx is pretty much invented to fight him.
Yeah.
Nyx is like, yeah, you get as fat as you want. You get as many stacks of flesh heap as you want, big boy.
Yeah. He does not care.
Razor. Yeah. Slight nerf.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't care. I think it's something like his big. I actually don't even know the name of it because I never play the hero, but the big ring thing. The big
plasma field.
Yeah, plasma field. I feel like do you usually max? I feel like you would want to max that first because it's a flat damage spell. Like
a lot of people weren't though. They were maxing static link, getting like 1 or 2 points in plasma field. Just for like harass.
I feel like you need to put more points into static link now. I feel like the idea is to take away some of the value point proposition, which they tried to do with Sven by making it so like Sven's Stormhammer stun duration was the same at all levels up until like the patch before this one, and then they made it scale up by 1/10 of a second, and that's still like.
Would you get what talents would you get on Razor right now? If you were building Razor, what would you get?
Hold on, I gotta. What would I get? Sorry, Dota Wiki's taking a second. I would get. So
I think Razor's one of those heroes that's again really good in certain situations.
Yeah, he's
extremely good in certain situations.
This is so situational.
And he's not played a lot.
I think at level 10 and like I really want that 15 agility. I really want 15 free agility, but I think you should go for the health because that's a lot of health on an agility hero at level 10.
At level 10?
That's a
lot of
shitload of health. That's more than Lycan used to get from his ultimate. Like, that's a huge... Yeah. And he's a strength hero. Like, your base health at... your health at level 1 is 620. Your health at level 15 is 1340. So you're probably jumping up somewhere... you're probably at, 700 or 800 health. 200 health is substantial. And you're also an agi hero, so you've got a lot of armor anyway, and you're building agility items, so you're getting armor. So he does a lot with that health.
He gets pretty tanky.
Yeah, that's a lot of health. Unstable current, movement speed, or damage steal. I think so. Let me look at the static link. So how does that work? So that's per second.
Yep.
So so unstable current. Is there a max on how many stacks you can get?
There's no stacks on it. It's not how it works. It just increases his move speed by 4% from 16 to 20.
Oh, so it's always active, not just immediately after jolting an enemy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think you go... Honestly, both of those talents are cool, but both of them are pretty weak. I would go for the, if you're building super high movement speed anyway, then go for the unstable current movement speed, because that's percent and not points. Otherwise, go for the damage, I think. I
go Sanji Asha on Razor a lot. And I think also he's also a hero that benefits really, really well from Helm of the Dominator, by the way.
Yeah, I could. Yeah,
that was the
absolutely.
Build when Helm of the Dominator originally got changed, but
especially if you're going for the health.
You go Helm of the Dominator, health, move speed, and I just think you're really, really hard to kill.
Yeah, and it depends on the lineup, but your static link damage steal can also make you really hard to kill too, because if you're being ganked by multiple heroes, but only one of them's a real damage dealer and he's right click, then you can just suck his damage down. Looking at the strike interval of your ulti for the level 20 talent.
If you get eggs, you should get that.
Yeah, 100%. But so what's the total number of? It can with the talent. It can strike.
It's 0.3.
I'm trying to look. I'm looking at the total number of strikes though. Oh, it's 75 total potential hits at level 3 instead of 60. Or if you have Ags, then that's going from 75 to 100. So
you melt buildings.
Yeah, that's I think you get Ags and get Ibs, that's a huge talent. And it's physical damage too. So I think you get that, and then you get an AC and just go ham.
Yep.
Because everything around you is just dying. Yeah, go Ags.
The build
AC.
right now that I'm seeing a lot of is you go, you don't have to, but a lot of people are kind of skipping the Helm of the Dominator. But if you're farming really well and they have a lot of physical damage, I think you go Helm of the Dominator into Sanji Asha, into Ags, into AC. But you could also get a Pike in there as well. It's kind of situational. But I think those items are extremely strong on Razor right now, because you kind of mix having the utility and the move speed from the Sanji Asha as well as the Maim, so you can chase. Together with your Eye of the Storm going and your Unstable Current with the Dispel on it, you're just really hard to deal with. Then you get BKB as you need it, sprinkled in there. But all those items I think are extremely good on Razor.
Do you like Refresher more or Octarine?
Depends on what you need. I think, well, obviously Refresher Eggs is really strong on Razor, but if you have another hero on your team, like a TA or something, that it can also deal decent building damage, I think you just go and help facilitate her. Mm-hmm. So you kind of become the number 2 to her number 1. You know what I mean?
I kind of want to play this hero now. I feel like what I would do is just because I kind of want AC anyway, and the reason I want AC is because I've got Eye of the Storm, so it's striking. Oh
yeah, you're gonna melt some people.
I want armor on me, because especially if I'm going for that health talent, then the armor gives me even more returns, and then I have that minus armor aura, and I do physical damage with the ulti. So
Shiva's is also extremely strong on him. As like another
Shiva's
counterpoint.
is, yeah, Shiva's, that'd be, I'd want it even later though, because one of the things I love about AC is the really solid mix of offense and defense.
Yeah.
What do you think about level 25 talent? I don't know what I think about that. I feel like
current,
they're both kind of bad in their own way.
It's every 2 seconds. Like that's what is that? That's
yeah, but
190 damage every 2 seconds.
Yeah,
and slow.
But it's magical, so you are doing like 100 damage every 2 seconds. Because you're level 25.
But you also slow them.
The slow is pretty big. Oh, and the slow duration is 2. So they're always slowed. Yeah. If it's 1-on-1, they're always slowed. What is the slow?
Basically, they're always slowed.
Oh, but the slow is 100%, so they're actually just locked in place, right?
No, the slow is 40.
It says move speed slow.
Like it slows their move speed.
It says move speed slow 100%.
Oh.
Is that actually like?
Interesting.
So it's like snipers. It's a stun that doesn't cancel channeling, essentially.
It's like root.
Yeah, but it's not because it doesn't interrupt anything. Holy, if that's real, that's really, really good.
Yeah, you can lock down, like, I think Nyx is absolutely useless against you at that point. A hero like Nyx?
Nah, because it doesn't pierce
PA.
It doesn't.
I would get it against. I would get him against a PA. I would get him against.
It would.
Nyx.
Yeah, it would slaughter a PA.
Troll.
I think you always get this because I think right now, like, we talk about a lot, like the versatility of heroes, but the problem is there's usually a right and a wrong way to build a hero because one of the two ways, like, there's usually 2 ways you play a hero, and it's sometimes there's only one, but really because of the talents, there's like 2 ways for pretty much every hero at least. I feel like in almost every situation, one way is the best of the 2 in any given patch, just because it's just been buffed recently, or it happens to be better than the 2. Right now, I think you always want to go for a build on Razor that centers around that ultimate. Like the build you were talking about, something with maybe not exactly that, but something thinking the same way and picking those same talents. And
yeah. And you could also get an item like drums instead of the Helm of the Dominator as well.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, I probably would. And I think with the build we're talking about, you don't care about attack speed anyway because you're primarily thinking about your ultimate to do damage. So the unstable current is fine. Also,
100 attack speed, a lot of attack speed though.
Yeah, but how does static link? Oh, static link does pierce spell immunity. Yeah, but this also
you can dish out some damage with that.
Yeah, but you cannot be you basically cannot be chased if you have unstable current. Yeah. If one hero is chasing you, they have to BKB, and it doesn't the BKB doesn't even dispel it. So you have to BKB then jump on you in order to not be slowed by unstable.
They have a stun.
Yeah, and you also move faster than anybody else. Wow, Razor's actually broken as hell right now.
Yeah, Razor's really good.
Razor's solid as fuck. Sand King, did he need to be nerfed? Or did you have more on?
I don't know. Sand King's always annoying to play against.
Yeah, but he's never felt too good to me. Like he's always felt good, but he's never felt broken. I mean, he's always felt good. He's always been good, but he's never.
He's actually as like a position 4 player, he's actually like one of my worst heroes.
Yeah, I'm shit at him too.
I'm just dumpster with Sand King, and I don't know why. I've played 28 games of Sand King.
It's because
I have a 28% win rate.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really bad.
I really I think Sand King is very hard to play because in reality, it's very easy to cast your ultimate, wait for the channeling to finish, and blink. But if you mess it up, it's like if you do this one thing, this one really specific thing, then the world will end. But now you know what that one specific thing is. So, yeah, Sand King, I've always, he's like a poor man's Earthshaker in a lot of ways, because
I think he's better than Earthshaker this patch.
I think a little bit. The problem is Epicenter is channeled and Earthshaker's ulti is not.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do
I
against
think,
against an Ag's Earthshaker. Like Earthshaker just jumps and you're just dead. Like with this, you hear it coming, you see it coming.
I think you get his level 10 talent. I think you get the move speed, just because he benefits so much from running around
absolutely.
and stunning people.
You don't care about health on this hero
200
because
health's
you
a
can
lot.
die. Like you can die.
Yeah,
you're a support, and you have an invis.
You're also kind of slippery.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got a bit of slippery to you.
And you have move speed that can get you out of range. You have moves. The move speed also makes it harder to kill, and you have burrow strike, and you're building a blink anyway. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not worried about it.
I think you go to move speed.
Yeah, I agree.
Sandstorm DPS over attack speed 100%. Slow, unless they have like a 5 core. Okay, if they have 5 melee hero lineup or some stupid shit like that, then yeah, I'd probably get attack speed slow.
Nah, fuck that, because people are in the middle of an epicenter. There's only one. Yeah, the only thing you're thinking about when a Sand King catches you in an epicenter, the only thing you think about when a Sand King catches you in an epicenter is, I need to get away from this epicenter. Like, there's never been a time where
you're just, oh shit.
Yeah, there's never been
a time. Pop BKB.
Yeah. There's never been a time when I've been epicentered and thought to myself, I should really keep hitting this person I was hitting. Like, epicenters, it's obnoxious enough that you have to be so ahead that you're confident you can just like who voluntarily face tanks an epicenter to keep attacking?
Some guy who has either a BKB already,
a Sven that's balled out of control, or like a PA or something maybe. But if you hit the
anti-mage could probably deal with it, but even then it's kind of hard.
But if you hit the Sandstorm as soon as you hit the epi, then
it's a lot of damage.
They can't hit you, and you're stacking that damage. That's 150 DPS on top of the fact that you're doing.
Sandstorm DPS is really.
What's the DPS on epicenter total? So what's the pulse rate? So you have,
it's a lot.
Like how often
damage
do they
per
come
pulse,
out?
You get 10 pulses.
Yeah, but what's the pulse rate?
It's like every 0.2 second or something.
Oh, it's 0.3 at level
3.
3. Or with the talent is 0.21. So yeah, that's 5 pulses per second. Yeah, that's 500 DPS. That's 500 magical DPS plus 150. So you're at you're at a very, very bad place. Yeah, that's a lot of
especially if the Sand King gets Veil, like I've seen a lot of them do.
Yeah, I think you always get Veil on him.
Well, no.
I think the only hero with a big AoE ulti that you're relying on to actually deal damage and not stun is Earthshaker. Everyone else.
I think you can go. You can go things like Tranquil Boots, Blink, obviously. Force Staff is also really good on him still. Mules is really good on him.
I mean, I typically, my build on Sand King is, I want to get a Blink as fast as possible, and then I want to get Veil as fast as possible.
I think Force Staff is good in certain situations over Veil, but again, it really just depends on the game.
Yeah, that's true.
Epicenter I think you get 4 epicenter pulses.
Yeah, I agree.
I think you get it, unless you're not going to be face tanking that often with Sand King, so especially at level 20.
Yeah, who cares? The thing about a Sand King is you don't really care if he lives or dies. Did he get his spells off?
Yeah.
Then he's already done his job. Level 25.
50% Sandstorm slow and blind. That's so good. So good.
The blind.
So good.
The blind.
It's so good.
They should give him an AoE. They should make. They should give him a talent. They should replace the +10 armor talent. Increase the AoE of Sandstorm.
That'd be stupid.
Give him a 700 AoE.
You need a BKB at that point.
He's so good.
Really good. Sand King is so good against PL.
Dude, the slow and blind persists if the debuff was placed before you BKB. So if you're in Sandstorm and you BKB, you still have the miss chance unless you walk out of the Sandstorm and walk back into it.
It's so good.
That's ridiculous. That is actual bullshit.
Yeah. It's extremely strong.
Shadow Demon.
I mean, the health regen is cool, but you just got to get that other thing.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, exactly. It's that's so good that... I'm looking up Shadow Demon real quick. So, Shadow Demon, Level 10 talent change from 10 strength to Soul Catcher creates an illusion on death.
That's fine. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, I think so too, because now you have a debate. Because before you always got experience. And I still think you always get experience. Like,
you can get the illusion on death if you're actually like doing pretty well and you're gaining like a decent amount of levels as a support. Like, I think it's pretty dependent on the game. I think you get the experience if you're behind, but I think you get the illusion if you're ahead.
No, I
especially against an agility carry.
I think I'm always going to get the EXP, and here's why. Because I actually think the creating an illusion on death is better if you're behind, because it means that illusion is going to be stronger, and by the time the illusion would be relevant would be much farther than level 10. So I wouldn't know if I would need to have picked the other talent, so I'm just going to pick the 25% EXP. Because his other talents are pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, I think the reason...
I just think... Okay, this is my reasoning. You're not always going to be ahead, right? Like, either games are going to be pretty close, so you can be behind or whatever, right? Like, it's really dependent. But a lot of the time, you're going to be facing... Like, unless your offlane absolutely dumpsters the enemy carry. Like, again, Shadow Demon is one of those heroes that I would only really get against like other
illusions.
When the other team has an agility or like an illusion hero, right?
Yeah, like PL and
I would
stuff.
really only get him against that.
Yeah.
Right? And if you have say they have like a level 20 PL, he's farming okay, he has a decent amount of items and everything, like that. If you kill him after you get your like he dies or whatever, like that illusion on that agility hero is still going to be stupid strong. It'll absolutely help you clean up like in a team fight.
You know what else is stupid strong?
What?
All of his other talents.
Yeah, they're really good.
That you get
the shadow poison damage.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking about experience there, because the shadow poison damage and then the shadow poison cooldown, so that brings you to a 1 second cooldown ability that has the potential to do 1,362 damage if you max the stacks.
Yeah, and then the 500 demonic purge damage.
So that's five. Wait. So it's up to
900 damage.
5 stacks.
It's 900 damage demonic purge.
Yep, and it's 5 stacks.
That can get amplified,
which is 5 seconds.
By Soul Catcher
And Veil.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's 5 seconds.
Assuming you have a Veil.
Because it's 1 second cooldown. So, yeah, that's like after reductions, we're pushing 1,000 damage here, and you can make this stack in 5 seconds. That's a lot. This also means that he can flash farm.
Yep. He can flash farm with Shadow Poison.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then he can also grab an Ags.
Especially stacks.
Yeah, he can make stacks and farm them, and then you can.
Okay, this is assuming you're going to be getting a lot of farm though. Like we're talking like position 5, poor shit Shadow Demon. Okay.
Yeah, well, like, you get the experience, and then you have the ability to just mess off and farm a little bit. Like all you have to do is exist until you get those levels.
I just see the use of having, like, if you pick Shadow Demon against, like, and they have, like, a bunch of Vint and, like, strength heroes or whatever, like, yeah, I'm probably not going to get his level 10. I'll get the experience. Against certain heroes, man, like, it's going to be pretty good.
I don't know, man.
Do a lot of damage.
Ag's Demonic Purge is 3 900 damage nukes that I can cast in a row.
Yeah. Say you nuke that PA down, like, the enemy PA down, and all of a sudden you have a PA for like 8 seconds on your team. But like the 5v5 becomes a 6v4 pretty quick if you kill that guy.
That's true.
He'll do a lot of damage.
It's so gambly though, because I know for a fact I'm going to get to the level. I know I'm going to get to those levels faster, and I'm going to be more relevant more quickly overall by getting that EXP talent. But I don't know if I'm going to get into a position where I need that illusion. You know.
Yeah. Again, it's really game dependent, but against certain lineups, I definitely would get it.
Soul Catcher, so that's 50% damage amp. It works on all damage, right?
Which one? Sorry, Soul Catcher.
Yeah, Soul Catcher.
Yeah, it works on all damage.
So I must be misunderstanding the skill. For 12 seconds, people take 50% more damage.
Yes.
That means that you have, if you cast that on somebody and you have Ag's Demonic Purge, you have a 1,350 damage spell that you can cast 3 seconds in a row. Like, you can literally do 4,000 magic damage to someone instantly.
Yep.
With a pretty reasonable cast range.
Yep.
That is absolutely insane.
Yep.
And you can actually just cast it on them, and because it pierces BKB and it gives them a 5-second slow, you can, like, if you're a good disruptor, you can stack Shadow Poison on them during this too, so you can throw in another 1,000 damage. Like, I could actually see this hero being a decent core, but like you could treat him, you could expect to see, there's going to be some guy out there, if this hero doesn't get nerfed, that becomes like a Jerax with this hero. This hero absolutely has the potential to be the most broken hero in Dota right now.
I don't know if it was the summit or it might have been like a scrim or something like that, but I think there was a rumor, or like someone was saying, that Zai played an offlane Shadow Demon, and it was like pretty good. Like, of course, it has to be super game dependent,
yeah,
like for that to actually work. But they played him as a core, and he did quite well. So it's possible, and it's feasible.
I mean, it's absolutely
lineups.
Yeah, it's going to be a thing. I think someone needs to figure out how to do it, because you have a lot of stress on you to stack the Shadow Poison in between the slow of the Demonic Purge. But someone's going to get good enough at doing that and realize, like, mathematically, it's possible.
It's like a core Skywrath mage. Like, yes, they can be really good, but they can also be absolutely terrible. So
yeah, but if you screw this up, then you can still be a support, though, and Skywrath is... Like, Shadow Demon's a better hero than Skywrath right now, I think, by a huge margin.
Yes. I just see it as, like, you're investing a lot into the Shadow Demon being impactful, right? And it's much easier to be impactful on easier heroes to, like, execute.
Well, I mean, the thing is, you can treat the thing that I think the reason I think the hero is like the person that figures this out will be so broken with him is because you can be a 3 and do this, because you only need an Ags and boots.
But where are you gonna lane your core Shadow Demon?
It doesn't matter. You don't have to start him as a core. You can just use him as a support, and then like wow, like you wow, so you people play him
as like a super greedy 4.
Yeah, basically.
Who would you pair with him as like your support duo? Like that's asking a lot. You'd have to have some pretty good cores for that.
I don't know. I feel like when you get into that position where you have like a defensive tri-lane and then someone's roaming, like the person that's roaming is like not the Shadow, like you use the Shadow Demon to babysit, and then once the end of the laning phase happens where you need to have a carry that can escape. Like, first of all, so he can be left alone. You leave the carry alone, and then instead of roaming, you just farm with the support.
And it needs to be an agility carry, so you can make illusions of them. So like a
that would be good. That'd be ideal. Anti-mage is the ideal one here.
Yeah,
because anti-mage is very hard to gank.
That's such a weak lane early, though.
I mean, not
like,
if you
would need to run a tri lane.
Yeah, I mean,
sure, but then you're soaking experience. 3 heroes on your anti-mage.
Like, is a tri-lane like ever really a tri-lane though? Like one of those heroes is going to be moving around.
Yeah, of course. But again, like if they put that's going to encourage them to put a really hard offlane against you. Could
this be could he be a solo offlaner?
Well, that's what Zai did, but
because
it was super game dependent.
Yeah, the thing is, I think he's a hero that if he doesn't have like someone that is really good at dealing with magic damage late game, and the safe lane lineup of the enemy team is not going to kill him, then all he has to do is exist. Like the thing that really catches my eye about this hero is he really only needs an Ags, and that's it. And he's just awesome by existing.
I still think what's it called? shard is really good on him. Is that called
Moonshot?
the item? No.
Aether Lens?
Aether Lens, yeah, that one.
Aether Lens is good on him. Kaya is good on him.
Yeah.
I mean, all of that standards. I like that they have a lot of choices from magic damage heroes now. Oh shit, you
He's
got
pretty good with Yules too.
Octarine.
It's okay. I'm.
The Octarine affects the recharge time, right?
I think so, actually. Yeah.
Octarine, yeah.
I haven't tried it.
Then you have, yeah, that and Lifesteal and Amp. Good God. Yeah.
You do a lot of damage.
I mean, even, still though, you don't need it for the hero to be insane. Storm Spirit.
It's just nice.
What do you think about Storm?
That's fine.
I thought you were a Storm picker.
No.
Oh. Yeah, because if you're a Storm picker, I'm pretty sure you're saying I'm pretty fucking far from okay, man. Oh. Actually, never mind. I kind of misread that actually. Yeah, it
just makes him less good late.
Yeah, that's the big thing here.
Better early and less good late.
The big thing here was the Arcane Rune change. That was I mean, like directly for him.
He got a bit of a nerf, but at the same time, I still think
Yeah, I thought his level 3. I thought his level 3 ball lightning had a bigger AoE than it does. So, I thought this was like Happy Birthday.
I've played 10.
Ever. Yeah, I haven't played much Storm either.
I'm not a Storm.
Yeah, he's still really good. I think this actually makes him really good still though.
I haven't played Storm since February this year.
I like seeing him good.
He's so annoying to deal with, like as a support player. I just don't.
Oh, that's right. You play 4, which is like literally the person that's like he's like juicy 4, just a little bit more. There's a little bit more seasoning on my meal than the 5, and I can eat it.
I just try to shit on him until for the first like 6-7 minutes of the game,
and then
That's
run.
what I do against Storm Spirits, and then you run, and then you hide in trees, and counter initiate on him.
Yeah, I mean, I think mathematical nerfs are always boring to talk about. When they're just like slight math changes. Tinker.
I think he's still good.
Tinker, this only affects nothing.
I think it's better because he was such a good laner. Like Laser was so annoying to deal with.
It incentivizes putting more points into it because the evasion chance is the same at all levels, right?
Yeah. It'll change his. It changes his early game build a little bit. Like I still think.
I don't think it changes the build. I just think it means you're more careful with using laser.
Well, I mean, the common build right now, from my understanding, is you go 2-2-0, then you max your march. Right.
So that's
once you actually get some.
So that's like 2-4-0.
No, you'd go 4-1-0 or 4-1-4.
March is W, right?
At level 9, at level 10, with rearm. So you would only get 1 level in your rocket. So you can allocate it to your march, so you can start farming faster. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I could see that.
You go like 2-1-2. You go 2-1-2. So he still has a 4-second nerf on his laser, but I mean, you still gotta put stuff in march so you can actually farm.
Oh, march is E. Okay, so yeah, I mean, yeah, you have to put more points into laser now, which kind of. Actually,
again, I'm not a tinker picker.
I'm not either, and when I do, I'm sure you probably can figure that I'm gonna go laser and heat-seeking missile, and I'm going to use them each a couple of times so that whoever I'm laning against thinks I'm putting lots of points into them, and then I'm gonna hold them and never use them because I don't want them to know that I'm actually putting everything into march, and then I'm just gonna AFK march all game, so I get lots of money.
Yeah, I'm really bad at tinker, so.
Me too.
That's just my opinion.
Tiny.
He's also something I hate playing against.
Yeah, Tinker. He's on my 3700 MMR account. I never really mind playing against Tinker. On my 4700 account, I really don't want to play against Tinker.
Yeah,
Good Tinker players are scary.
Good Tinker players are really
they're really good. They're really scary. Tiny.
Yeah.
Tiny
needed a nerf.
I hate what they've done with Tiny.
Yeah, you don't like new Tiny.
I hate.
He's really strong though.
He's strong, but like I kind of hold on. Let me see. I forgot the latest. I've read every single change they've done, but I forgot the latest iteration of Tree Grab. So. So at level 4, it's 5 attacks with a 5-second cooldown. You're going to be attacking more than
it's a 12-second cooldown
with your talent. You're attacking more than once per second, aren't you? When you're level 25?
Probably. I mean, you do a lot of damage. Anyway. Bonus damage, 40%, level 4 tree grab.
Well, it's...
You get an Echo Saber, plus your toss avalanche combo.
Well, that's what I'm worried about, though. Like, I'm worried about you not having that tree, even though... I'm worried about the ability being on cooldown because you attack too quickly because you built right-click attack speed. Does that happen?
I don't think that's a big deal. You just burst somebody. He's a bursting hero.
So
he's the guy that you pick your 200 strength level 10 talent against. That's the Tiny.
So if you're like level
you pick your health like talent if you're facing a Tiny.
If you're level 25 with Tiny, you're pretty happy with Tree Grab. Like you're always able to, like, you're not finding yourself in a situation where 5 seconds is too long for the cooldown.
5-second avalanche. Like, I don't think he has the mana to do
Tree
that.
Grab. Oh yeah, Tree Grab costs mana. I forgot. Oof. Shit.
Well, no, not Tree Grab.
I'm only talking about Tree. I'm only talking about Tree Grab.
Yeah, it's like 50 mana and stuff.
Yeah, but the thing is, you have to. The thing that I loved about Tiny was the fact that you could be a roamer that converted themselves into this crazy right-click hero, and if you do that these days, you have a 5-second cooldown on this ability that you have to use to. You have to use it as soon as it's off cooldown if you're building right-click Tiny because you're attacking so quickly. So you're constantly spending 50 mana. You're constantly having to pick up a tree. You
get Echo Saber, like negates it. At least it makes you at least pretty good. And probably your team is gonna have mana boots on one of the supports. Likely, like you'll be fine. It's a non-issue.
I'm just worried. Like if you is there a situation where you're hitting like after 3 seconds? You've already attacked 5 times. With Echo Saber, absolutely. But without Echo Saber in the ultra late game, I feel like you could run into that. I will say it's not as bad as initially. Like when this first came out, I was like one of my favorite heroes is dead.
He's pretty good. He gets played a lot. He got played a lot at the summit.
He's absolutely better now.
I think he's in the meta now.
Yeah,
I think he'll stay there for a little bit.
He needed to be reworked because he was the hero that all of the professional players only played Tiny in their pubs for years, and then like in 2013 or 14 they just stopped and nobody ever played him again. Like this was like all Sing Sing played for like years.
He loved Tiny,
and that was back when Sing Sing was a pro. Kappa. Winter Wyvern.
I think it's I think actually Winter Wyvern's okay in some games, but again, like she's pretty underrated.
Whenever I read the words Winter and Wyvern next to each other in a sentence, I stare off towards my ceiling and ask myself, why is Crit still on EG?
I don't think that was his fault.
I 100% do. 100% that was his fault. If I, as bad as I am these days, am sitting in front of my computer at home and I can accurately predict from the second pick on the entire draft for both teams, you should be able to. You are on the highest paying team in the world. You are the drafter for the highest paying team in the world. PPD would not have made that mistake. And you did it.
No.
And the reason I knew the draft was because it was based on the identical principle, like like the exact same principles that cost you the game before it. You drafted illusion shit into things that are really good at killing illusions.
Yeah. That wasn't necessarily the Winter Wyvern pick. That was just them.
No, it wasn't the Winter Wyvern. No,
picks in
it
general.
wasn't the pick of the Winter Wyvern. It was just Crit making a horrible draft twice in a row, like multiple times in a row. Like 100% they lost that game because of the draft.
They did. And I agree with you. I think he gets a lot more flack than he needs on that.
Shit, I think
But
I don't think the Winter Wyvern
don't
is a
agree.
problem. I thought it was
I don't
just...
agree with Crit on a lot of things, but again, he's a much better player than I am, so whatever.
Me too. I mean, the thing about it is, like, the Winter Wyvern was a fine pick. The problem with it was he picked illusion heroes into, like, he picked, like, PL into Sven or something. Like, he picked illusion heroes into heroes that are, like, literally one of the best things about them is that they kill illusions. And he did this twice in a row.
Several times.
And they
lost
several times.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so he's already shown his hand, so they're going to pick this hero. And then they picked, like, I was able to call the entire draft out. And I was like, all right, well, I was hoping that there was some card up his sleeve there where I would be proven wrong, but you didn't even need to watch the freaking game because it was this. The games just repeated themselves, and they just kept making a draft that wouldn't work and losing because they got a draft that wouldn't work.
I don't know. I think that's the issue with, like, a lot of teams right now. And actually, this is one of the things that I think is the matter with Eternal Envy in general, is he thinks he's figured out something. And he
100% agree. Eternal Envy has no business being in the drafter's chair. He's a great carry.
I think he's a fantastic player. Like,
same. I think he's a great carry. I think he's a great core. He's a great leader. He's a wonderful in-game leader. He should not be drafting.
Yeah.
I
think that's why.
That was kind of my other point. That kind of goes along with because I was going to go over the patch notes. I had a lot of other stuff to talk about as well, but I think the biggest one was the alliance roster shakedown. And the whole reason that I went on interrupted you with this tangent is, do you see Loda, who is also unique in that he's a position 1 player, in-game leader, and the drafter? Do you see him as also being a good player and struggling with the draft the same way EE does?
Yep.
In the exact same way?
Loda is a different player than him, though. Like, as like a pro player and like his style of play. Again, it's not like Envy at all. Like, he's a completely different style to him. At least he was. I haven't seen him play like pretty recently. But like, if you look at his like hero pool and like the heroes that he really enjoyed playing, so things like, he was known for his Chaos Knight. What else was he known for? He was known for his gyrocopter. He had a really good gyrocopter.
All of the hard carries.
But not even, like, he played heroes
Void,
that were really like steady and stable, and he left the flashy stuff to
he's very much like his style is very similar to my own in terms of the heroes he likes to play and how he likes to play them. He's very laid back, likes to farm, likes heroes that are pretty safe in terms of if you get farm on them, they'll be relevant. He picks a lot of
safe heroes.
He doesn't go for being a playmaker. He goes for being a farmer and a thinker. Like,
yeah. And that's just how he is, like, as a player. And I see Eternal Envy as that space maker.
How is he as a drafter?
That's literally what he does. I'm not 100% sure because I haven't seen him really play in the last little while, but a lot of Alliance's success around like when they were actually like really good in TI3 was not necessarily based around Loda being really good. It was based around the fact that Bulldog and S4 made a shitload of room for him.
It was mostly they figured out the patch. They figured out the patch.
They did, and they figured out the patch.
And they were the best at it by a huge margin.
Yeah, they were really good at split pushing. Really, right? Yeah. Like, that was what they were known for. The rat, as everybody knows it as. But S4 made so much room on the heroes that he picked. Like again, he was really similar to like Dendy in his
Man,
prime,
you had
where he would just really flashy plays, right?
probably
And
better
he
than
was just
Dendy
a
in his
space
prime.
creator.
I think he was better than Dendy in
Yeah,
his
I
prime.
I
I think
agree.
like
I agree.
Dendy's overhyped a little bit because he was so good so early. And don't get me wrong, Dendy is a boss, but S4 is. Who do you think is the best?
S4 is the best player.
I think
Um,
he's one of the best. I think S4 is a better mid than Dendy, and in their primes
right
they
now,
both were,
yes.
and in their primes they both
Yeah, I
were.
agree.
Or I think S4 has always been better, at least in terms of looking at them in their prime through now. I think Dendy is actually still a top tier mid. I think he's I think if you put him on an Evil Geniuses or another team that is currently the best in the world, they stay the best in the world with him. I don't think he's a
I think
weight.
what I see and what my problem with S4 is, and I really respect him and I really like S4 in general, but his hero pool is really narrow.
It is.
I find
It is.
he's really good at the heroes that he plays, but he's very mediocre at farming mids. Like again, that was always his issue, is he was not able to adapt to the farming playstyles. And that's kind of what it is now, and that's why he swapped to being an offlaner, right? Because he was good at space creating heroes. And you look at the top mids right now, like S Triple C and like No One and Sumail and those kind of guys, like they play those farming mids, and they're not as good as those space creating guys. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, they can play puck and everything, right? Like they can do them, but
That's
not to
why
the same effect. There's
That's how
just
Arteezy got his
different
rep.
style players.
Arteezy was one of the first
Yeah,
people to just go like, all I'm doing is I'm gonna go mid
I'm
and
just gonna
farm
farm.
every game.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna be a mid farmer every game.
yeah.
And
So I see it as like a
another
patch dependent mid. So right now, I don't think S4 would really hold a candle to like a lot of the other like top mids right now. But I still think he's an excellent player.
yeah, no, I
Um,
don't think he's the best.
at what he
But I
does.
think he's I think he and Dendy are on a similar are essentially the same in skill level. I think S4 is better, but I think they're pretty damn close. I think the best mid in the world right now is Miracle. Like by the best core, I think the best core player in the world by far is Miracle.
I'd
Miracle's
put him up there. Yeah, I'd put him up there. I think Matumba Man is really good. I'm a big fan of Matumba
Matumba
Man.
Man
I
is
think
very
he
good.
plays excellent. He's your boy, the OG Lycan picker. Um,
No, Arteezy was.
yeah, but Matumba Man's better at Lycan than Arteezy is, even in his prime.
Is he?
Yep, absolutely. You need to watch more Matumba Man.
Yeah, I was just banned so much last time I watched him.
He plays Lycan a lot. It's one of his favorite heroes. And he's really good at it. I think he's definitely one of the better core position 1 players. And obviously Miracle is excellent in like whatever he plays, but Matumba Man is able to play a lot of different heroes extremely well. So I think he's very versatile. Like he can play like the you know, like the not necessarily like the hard physical carry, but he was also able to play like a lot of like the more utility carry heroes as well, really well, like Veno and Necro before he got dumpstered and stuff like that.
I mean,
Like he's a
I've
very good
seen
lone druid player.
Miracle's got a pretty big hero pool. Somebody in chat just said, Illuminati says, I think Dendy's having problems adapting to farming mid. He's behind in farming most games recently. Yeah, maybe this patch,
Yeah.
but I've also seen patches where he's very comfortable playing the farming mid. If you watch his TA especially, he farms quite a bit. There was a time where Navi was losing a lot of games, I think, because they were still trying to be the playmaker team, and I think he's more or less adapted to farming. He might not be good this week, but in general, he's still solid.
I don't know. I think a lot of Chinese mids and like No One and Miracle are all better than him.
Oh yeah, I think Miracle is by far and away the best mid in the world right now.
And I think Sumail, obviously Sumail is excellent.
I think if you have one, assuming that they can magically all speak the same language and you have 4 pros together and they need a mid, the best mid in the world to put on any random lineup period is Miracle, just mechanically. The things I've seen him do shock me. Like
Yeah,
like
I do think he's excellent.
the plays that he has made are so they aren't like Dendy's hooks at TI2 that were insane. They're insane to the degree where I wouldn't even think to attempt that.
Yep.
Like, and he's so fucking good at Dota. Like, when he won TI, I was like, holy crap, the best player in the world. I'm literally wearing a Liquid hat as I'm saying this too. I was like, holy crap, the best player in the world actually won TI. Because usually the best player or the best team doesn't win TI. It's like, they get either knocked out, they either get top 8 or like top 3 or 4, and then like some little fluke happens. Like, I don't think Wings was necessarily the best when they won. I'm not sure if I think Newbie was the best when they won.
I don't think DC was the best when they were
I don't think they deserved
top
second
2.
place either. I mean, I'm happy they did, but I don't think they were the second. I don't think they were number 2.
Was excellent. Like, I think Weeha's really, really good player too.
The funny thing is, like, I could have probably gotten to know Weeha a long time ago if I wanted to, because when Microsoft taught me how to play Lycan back in the day, he and Weeha played pubs like 10 hours a day together. Because Weeha, they were just the same MMR, like, so they just happened to pub together all day. Like, I remember this because I actually noticed Weeha for the first time, because I asked who Weeha was to Microsoft, because I saw him in so many of his pubs. Always playing
Let's talk about what heroes we think are really good this patch. What do you think about that? Because I think that's like a big part of like what people are going to be doing.
Yeah, let's make this
like in this season.
Let's make this the last topic. Okay. I'm just on Dota buff for win rate overall. Of course, Zeus is number 1, Spectre's number 2 now though. Wraith King is high up there. Personally,
yep.
And this is pub trash, so pub Dota is the theme. I think Sven is probably the best core in terms of pub value. Like, you know what you're getting. He's going to reliably get farm. There are answers to him, but like, he's not that hard counterable. He automatically prevents a whole bunch of heroes from being picked on the enemy team just by him existing. He's really easy to play and he's hard to kill. What's up, KK?
I think he's good. Like, I really think he's strong.
And he's less farm dependent than Medusa.
True. I think his issue is he gets kited.
Yeah.
KB.
That's why I said movement speed.
You just buy 4 staffs and stuff against him. So I don't know. I right now I'm seeing a lot of success. Like, people do pick Sven, and obviously he does pretty well, but you just gotta make sure he doesn't get off to a good start. It's like a lot of other carries, like, they have some comeback potential. And I mean, Sven has
massive comeback potential. Get Mask of Madness in
but you gotta play around it, dude. Like,
yeah.
The thing with Sven is, like, he's gonna farm stacks. If he doesn't do well in lane, he's gonna farm stacks. And as a support hero, you should know that.
Yeah.
So what do? You ward their stacks.
That's true.
Right? Like, you just gotta play around them smart. Like, you don't necessarily, like, run 6 heroes at them, right? Like,
yeah, in pubs, if you warding a Sven's, in pubs warding a Sven stack is really, really good, because especially like if you're below 5k, especially if you're below 3k, your supports probably are going to be slow on the draw to deward, which means you have to do it yourself, and you might not realize it for a minute or two. You might be like, maybe I blocked that, or maybe one of my teammates killed that stack, and that's the worst feeling, when you've missed 3 stacks because, oh, it's been warded this whole time. Then you have to spend more money to deward it. Yeah.
You run heroes at him when he's clearing that, like, 4 stack Ancients, or he's at, like, half health, right? Like, you have your Spirit Breaker on your team, whatever. I fucking love Spirit Breaker.
And you have him... If I'm in a situation as Sven where I don't have Ancients, I'm more likely to come to fights because I feel comfortable with my movement speed and armor that I can escape from those fights, and I can usually contribute to them.
But before having a Blink Dagger, like, that's really hard to contribute in fights unless you have a lot of setup. So I don't know. I see I see Sven as being good, but he's pretty easily counterable if you know how to do it.
What do you think's the cancer of the pubs?
Anti-mage is still pretty hard to deal with, like just because
I
of the
agree.
nature of the hero. Especially as like a support hero, there's only so much you can do against that. Like, yeah, you can like run at him, but then he's gonna blink away, and it's really hard to deal with, right? Spectre is really hard to kill, especially if she has a good start. I have been having issues against Spectre against.
Spectre's weird because I feel like her win rate's so high just because of her global and just like low MMR boosting it up. But if you factor that out, I feel like at the absolute bottom of the bottom MMR, Spectre is good. In the mid tier MMR, she's bad, and then at the top tier MMR, she's good again. I feel like.
Like obviously there's not a lot of people who play him, but I really think Gyrocopter is really strong now. I think he's an excellent carry, especially with his talents.
I didn't like something about his change.
Like you get his like he's got the 200 health, so he's not as easily killable at level 10, or you can do the 25 damage. It's how your game's going. Flat cannon attacks, that's excellent for him.
I feel like you always go right click on him now.
Down. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because I think
you get 50 move speed at level 20. That's a lot.
50 moves.
And like
that is a lot.
Global call down or 3 homing missile charges. Homing missiles do damage, dude. Like so much.
Homing missile.
They're hard to kill too.
Let me look at this. So 3 replenish time is 11. Can you drop all 3 at once?
Yep.
I think global cooldowns. I don't know. Ags on him is the worst like Ags in the game. I think.
No, I don't think you get eggs on him.
I mean,
I don't know if it's the worst eggs in the game. Yeah. But it's not that good.
I mean, it's like basic. It's pretty damn bad.
Yeah, it's like Pocket Rookie, but like Pocket Rookie's worse than that, in my opinion.
It's debatable, which means it's bad. Plus 11 rocket barrage damage, so that changes your rocket barrage damage from 22 to 33. You make this hero relevant again by making his level 10 talent 200 health and 25 damage. Make that 225 or make that 225 health and make it 30 damage, and then move the level 50.
Oh, that's way too strong.
No, but then swap the level 10 and 15 talents then.
Oh, I see.
Because that forces
you could do that.
You swap, make 250 health and 30 damage at level 15, and then
250 health's a lot, dude.
Make it at level 15. Then make it 225.
No, I don't know.
225 and 30 damage, and the point I'm trying to make is at level 15. Increasing my rocket barrage damage by 50% is a meme. That's like I'm so close to being able to be a I'm bordering on being a right click hero, and I can taste it, and I'm gonna go for flat cannon because it's awesome. Because I feel like you always go flat cannon.
The 9 flat cannon. 9 flat cannon attacks. That's great.
Yeah, the +3 flat cannon you always get. You always get that at level 15. But if it's level 10, now you have to actually go, do I get a talent that's completely useless now but will make me better later? Or do I get the talent that will make me super good now but will be trash in like 10 levels? I like that kind of trade-off, and I think at level 15, Rocket Barrage is already starting to fade and Flat Cannon is already starting to become good.
Yeah. Weaver, I think, is very strong. Like, he's actually one of the heroes that I think counters Medusa extremely well.
Yeah.
Like, he's my go-to carry if I'm against a Medusa, just because, A, he's hard to kill a lot of the time. B, you get his level 10 mana break, 20 mana break talent.
Everything about this hero is good.
Plus a Diffusal Blade. Like, he's really strong. He does so much damage.
Everything about this hero is good. Like... everything about this hero since the talent changes is just like ridiculous. So mana break is good.
He doesn't see a lot of pro play.
So is experience. Yeah, I think people just don't realize yet. I think is one of those heroes that like we'll see him picked a couple of times in the early stages of one tournament, and then like the second day of the tournament, everyone's gonna play Weaver because they're gonna realize he's awesome.
He's really strong. Going into like the support and offlane sort of roles.
Hold on, last point on Weaver. I know Mana Break is really good on him, especially because you have Geminate, but
Yeah.
whenever you put an experience talent, especially 25% experience at level 10 on a core, you are in dangerous territory. GPM and XPM talents are dangerous territory on right-click heroes. And
yeah, but
that's a really, really strong experience talent at a very low level. And the fact that we have to debate between that and his other talent tells you how strong he is, because it depends on what you're up against. The problem
you
with
get the 12 strength. I think you get the 12 strength.
Yeah, I almost always get the 12 strength because 75 magic damage isn't very much.
I get the swarm armor reduction.
Yeah,
too.
I was gonna say the swarm armor reduction is good, but it also really it depends on the role for me, because if you're ratting a lot, then the swarm attacks to kill the swarm is a big deal.
It's also very good. I think it's also good if you have a Roche centric lineup as well. So because it takes Roche longer to kill your bug too.
How many? What's the armor reduction per tick? So it's 1. So the max armor reduction is 20.
16.
It's 21 at level 4, and it's 31.5 if you get the talent for the armor reduction on the swarm. So that's pretty ridiculous. Yeah, that's 50% more. So yeah, unless if you go with the swarm attacks to kill, you're 100% rat mode. That's the only time you go for that, I think.
I think it's okay against heroes that don't do or like have slow attack speeds. So like if you're against like a Zeus or something and you get a bug on him, that bug's gonna be on that Zeus for a little while, right? Or like who else has a terrible attack animation? Like Crystal Maiden, or like anybody with like a huge wind up. I think it makes you that much more annoying. Because they got to focus on killing it, right? You got 2 more attacks. That's like another like 1.5 seconds or 2 seconds that they're fucking trying to get a bug off of you. You do a lot of damage in that time.
Do you go for Sakuchi movement speed under any circumstances?
It's so good.
Really?
You're basically hasted, dude. Like you run so fast.
But the triple attack.
So? Like, yeah, it's good with the mana break and everything, but you're gonna do a lot of damage anyway, dude. This is basically like, it's so much like utility and movement, and like,
I didn't realize how much that was actually. Yeah, you're 50% above haste.
So fast.
Yeah. I think to me it's like fast. It kind of depends on the build. Like, if I'm going like Daedalus and Deso and like one other damage item that's not a butterfly, then I'm gonna go Geminate, but I could see going for Sakuchi.
I don't think so. I think you go Sakuchi move speed most of the time.
Well, if you have like Daedalus, if you hit super hard though, that triple attack could just like that could be somebody's death from full health. It's just like,
I was playing a ratting kind of game. You're like, you know one of those games where you do really well in the beginning.
Then you fall behind, and then you have to rat to win.
No, you stall out going high ground.
Ooh, those are the worst.
It's super hard to go high ground.
Those are the worst.
Right. So you basically have full control of the map.
Yeah.
You have all your heroes. You maybe lose a fight or two, and they're kind of back in it, you know. But you're a Weaver, right? So what do? You fake push a lane, and they have to kind of deal with you.
And you could just
Sakuchi to another lane and one Sakuchi.
Yeah.
One Sakuchi, you're in another lane, and you can hit that tower and rat.
I didn't even think about that. Deso. Yeah, that's a very, very, very like when I think about movement speed and ratting, like I kind of think that Lycan, you could nerf something else about him. Don't get any ideas, Val?
But this is instant. Like Sakuchi's much faster than Transform, right? And it's not on.
Yeah, we usually approach.
I usually cooldown and a timer and stuff like that.
I usually approach Transform though. The thing about it is, when I think about the move speed of Lycan, that's like only 100. I think it's 100 lower or 50 lower or something than this, but like to be able to do that and go invisible and to be able to be like this more than 50% of the time, like it's so much movement speed, and when you combine that with invisibility, it's almost impossible to keep track of you. Like if you're good, you can get away from anything with that. So it makes ratting really good.
He's one of those heroes. He's one of those heroes who needs to have a good start. He cannot. He is so hard for him
Yeah.
to come back from a bad start.
Yeah. Because
He just doesn't have the
he's
same.
not a flash
He
farmer.
can't flash farm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can't flash farm.
He's
So
yeah.
he's kind of situational. You need to put him into the right lane. Like, for example, like you can't put him against a Brewmaster or something like that, because that Brewmaster will just drunken haze you all day, and you're just, well, shit, I can't hit anything. So you're gonna go out of that lane with probably 40 to 50% less creeps than you should have had, like exiting out of the laning stage, and you're basically half an item behind purely because Brewmaster's a dick, right?
He's
It's
how do
just
you
really
build
difficult.
him skill wise?
Weaver.
Uh-huh.
I go max Sakuchi.
Same.
I get a value point in Geminate, and I
Same.
get max Swarm.
Oh, I do point and swarm, max Sakuchi, max Geminate.
I think the Swarm is just too good
Thing is,
because it does a decent amount of damage too,
uh,
and it helps you split push
it does
much
help.
more than that extra attack.
Not if you. What do you build item wise typically? Like I typically rush Deso, and
Depends on the game.
I always get a Blightstone like at the start. I almost always enter my lane with a Blightstone in my inventory.
Yeah, I mean, I generally like Deso. Obviously, is really good on him. I think Diffusal Blade is very very good on him as well, just because of how its interaction with Geminate.
Well, your damage
Um,
your damage per tick is 14 at level 1. At level 4 it's 20, and armor reduction per tick is the same. Duration is the same, and number of attacks to destroy is the same. You're basically getting you're getting a 30% increase in total damage dealt, and you're getting the cooldown reduced from 35 seconds to 20 seconds by putting more points in the swarm. So against creeps, it
you also
really doesn't do that much, does it? Like,
well, it's not about it's about splitting the wave, right? So think about it this way: when you cast it on a wave, your creeps are not going to be hitting those, right?
Mhm.
You're literally cutting through the wave.
yeah,
right?
you cast it past the tower, so the creeps start attacking
Yeah.
it, and you can push
So
the tower.
they stay there,
Yeah, so that
right?
your creeps don't aggro them. Your creeps can
You're
your
also
creeps can attack that tower, basically.
you're also going to be doing a lot more damage purely to the fact with the amount of armor that they have to do, and it causes chaos in the team fight, right? Like
But-
it's all about causing chaos in team fights with this hero. So I think that's his best thing. And in early game, you don't do a lot of damage with him. Like, yeah, like it's cool to do like attack twice, but you're just gonna do more damage with max swarm in a team fight early.
Yeah,
I think
in
it's,
in a team fight, absolutely.
and that's where the hero like really like benefits from is chaotic team fights. So I think like having like say you have treads, right? Like treads, Aquila, Blightstone. Maybe you're like you have like one other item, and you go into a team fight. Like the amount of damage that you're going to be doing with your Geminate, like yeah, it can be like a lot against a single target, but just having that extra damage across all the other
is pretty
heroes,
huge.
like all 5, if you hit them with your swarm, like in combination of your teammates also hitting those guys, that's getting their armor reduced like much faster. Like I just see it as more value.
The question for me becomes, if I have max swarm, if I'm like you said, Aquila, treads, Blightstone, that's basically it.
Yeah.
Aquila,
Like this is like minute 10.
yeah, okay, 10 minutes. Aquila tread. We'll say 12 or 13 minutes, and
Sure.
we'll say let's say 12 minutes, because you're definitely going to have level 7 by then, and those three.
I also actually really like getting I like getting double Wraith Band.
Yeah, he's one of those heroes. Like I used to do that on TB a lot.
Yeah. Because I mean, you could build into Pike later if you need to, or you can sell it. Like it's just great value.
The problem I have with putting points into the swarm is it's way better to have 4 points in the swarm than 4 points in Geminate in the situation you just described. The problem is the moment I get a Desolator, I'm just like, I wish I didn't. I will trade everything in the Swarm to get as many points in the Geminate as possible.
Problem I have with Desolator, and I know it's a really good item on Weaver, and I'm a big proponent of it. I just think there's better first items that you can get on him.
What do you
make
go
him
for?
a lot scarier. I think Diffusal Blade or Lincoln's. Well, I actually prefer getting an offensive item first, and then I get.
Yeah, I was gonna say I never go. If you go defensive item first on Weaver, like you're so incredibly good at existing.
I mean, you pick Weaver when they have no stuns, right? Or
Yeah.
like one,
Yeah.
maybe like one, maybe two stuns.
Something you
right?
can disjoint.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So I see it as like he's gonna run around. He's gonna cast Akuchi a lot. Raindrop, you're gonna have a raindrop in your inventory along with your Aquila. You'll have decent mana regen. You can cast a lot of spells. I just see him as more being useful, just running around the team fight rather than just sitting there hitting someone with Deso attacks. So, I see him as like a very much a hit and run, which Deso does facilitate, but I don't know. I think Diffusal Blade is excellent value because it also gives a slow.
Yeah,
like
Diffusal is
20 mana break.
Diffusal is a big one.
20 mana break
Stacks with Diffusal. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so much damage, dude. Plus you have a slow.
It's 80% of that, so that's 16. What? 16 is 80%? Yeah, that's 80%. So that's 16 damage per hit. Plus you're burning the mana. Where is? Because Diffusal Blade got nerfed a little bit recently,
Yeah,
right?
but it's like
What's the mana break on it?
now. 16. So you do 36 extra damage.
Does it still level up? Is there still a level 2 Diffusal Blade?
No.
Okay, yeah, I thought they removed that. Okay, so that's... Wow. That's a lot of mana.
Dude.
So that's
36 mana?
That's
twice?
Yeah, that's not 66.
You basically
66 mana and
no,
66 66 damage
72.
and 70 mana. Well, it's 50 plus 20. And mana,
oh yeah, 50 plus
and
20.
mana break
Sorry,
is
I read that
physical.
wrong.
So it's going to do 70 damage and it's going to burn 80% of that 70. So it's going to burn like 60-ish. It's going to do like 60-ish damage. That's, yeah. I think
plus 20 agility.
Yeah. Thing about Weavers, though, he doesn't care as much about agility because, like, one of the things that agility carries...
he's still an agility hero.
Yeah, but one of the things that agility heroes like agility for is attack speed, and Weaver doesn't care as much about attack speed just due to the principle of Geminate.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still good.
It's still good.
It's still damage.
It's still good. It's just, like, it's not as good because he already has something that kind of makes up for the fact that he has... He was the hero I was thinking of earlier when you were thinking about heroes with horrible attack animations. He is my...
Well, early he does.
Yeah. I mean, in
Drow before 6.
Yeah, his base attack animation is just vomitous.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you get a if you get mana break and rush diffusal, I think it really depends. So like, if you're against an int centric lineup, then you get diffusal and mana break and you can destroy it. The problem is if you're doing that, then you're probably gonna need a Linken's as well because int heroes typically have single target disables.
I'm honestly fine with like crushing people and then getting a really fast Lincoln's Deso. So you have like Fusel, Lincoln's Deso, into whatever else you want.
What does the active on diffusal do these days?
It's a purge, dude.
I thought they did something with... Because I know they got rid of the cooldown.
No, there's a cooldown. There's a big
I mean,
cooldown,
they got rid of the charges, right?
Yeah, it's a 15-second cooldown still.
What did they make worse about the purge? It only slows now, right?
Well, it always slowed.
Well, it purged
they just
before.
increased the cooldown because it used to be like a no cooldown on it.
It no longer
Like,
applies a
back
basic.
when it was...
Okay, it no longer has a charge. It increased the cooldown from 4 to 15 seconds, and it no longer applies any dispel. So it's not actually a purge. That's why it's called inhibit now. It doesn't purge, it only slows.
It doesn't get rid of Ghost Scepter.
Yeah, it doesn't get rid of anything. It only slows.
No.
Which is... I guess that's fine, because most of the time when I got it, it was just as slow anyway, and it doesn't have a mana cost.
Yep.
So...
Yep.
That's actually pretty cool. Non-hero...
I think it's still a good item.
It slows heroes by 4 seconds. It roots non-heroes by 3. And there's no level 2 of it. It's pretty damn good still.
Relatively cheap item too. It's easy to build.
The slow decreases in 0.8 second intervals, so it slows for 100, 80, 60, 40, and 20%. I actually haven't built Diffusal since this patch came out.
I think it's strong. It's a good item. I think it's really good on Weaver still.
I mean,
it's really good on PL.
Yeah, well, if there's a universe in which it's not a good idea to build a Diffusal Blade on PL, then I'm just done. Like it's
the item, man.
That's like Anti-Mage and Battle Fury, Peanut Butter and Jelly.
Yeah.
Legion Commander and Hand of Midas.
Call it.
I remember back in 2012, one of the recommended items for Juggernaut was Battle Fury, and if you built a Battle Fury on Juggernaut, you got reported because why are you building Battle Fury on Juggernaut? And then like
it's good again.
And yeah, now it's like you build Battle Fury on Juggernaut.
Yeah.
I think
it was good back then, and then it was too slow because the meta was not favoring that kind of thing at the time. But now it's good again.
I think it had more to do with the fact that his Ags was so freaking good that you just didn't care about right click. You didn't think about the hero in terms of right click. And then when his Ags got worse, it wasn't at the same time, but there was a short window
Ags
of like
was never good on Jug.
Ags was insanely good.
Okay, like 4 years ago.
3.
For like a patch.
Yeah.
3 years ago for like a patch.
Yeah. Let me see.
I don't know.
It was
I would never get Omni.
The cast range was like 600 or something, and it's like 350 now. And when they nerfed the cast range, that's why it got bad. Like his Ags was so sick. Like it was the only way you saw the hero played in the competitive scene for like 6 months.
I don't know.
There was a good 6 month period where you built around his ultimate. Like it was
it's good again, basically. Moral of the story is
the hero's
Battle Fury's good on Juggernaut.
Yeah, the Battle Fury.
He's okay. He still gets countered by basically he's easier to counter. Yeah, you can't dispel Ghost Scepter anymore.
I think
with, Diffusal.
I think in general agility heroes are harder to play than strength heroes. Like they require a little bit more tact and execution in terms of how you play them in the late game. I mean he's a weird hero because you look at his level 25 talents are both good, but they're not great. 5 Omni / strikes is good, but it's not great. 600 health is good, but it's not great. I mean,
it's good.
It depends.
I like 600 strength.
It depends. 600 health. If it were 600 strength, I'd get it.
Or 600. Oh yeah, sorry. 600 health. The 5 Omni Knight strike or Omni / strikes I don't like because when you're level 25. Most of the time the team is going to have some way to deal with you by that time. Like, they're going to have some way to deal with Omni Slash. So, I see it as...
Really? I didn't think people cared about it as much when the game went late. Like, when the game's super late, I don't care about the Omni Slash as much. Because I'm...
Exactly.
Because I'm tanky enough. Like, I'm just
That's
generally...
what I mean.
Oh, okay. I think it would be cool to, like, at level 25, just... surprise the enemy team by grabbing an Ags and that talent at the same time and going from a 130-second cooldown to a 70 and then jumping out with a 17 slashes from 9.
If your mid is a physical damage carrier as well, sure, you could get away with that. But
yeah, I mean,
then
I kind of agree with the general idea that right now Juggernaut, the thing that... So, like, there was, like, this 1 year, maybe 18, 15-month period where Juggernaut went from what I remember Juggernaut as when I used to play Dota 1 to his Aghanim Scepter Ultimate was the standard way to play, and the way that they made his Ags good was they dropped the cooldown from 110 to 70 seconds on his Ags. That's why he it was actually awesome for like 6 months. And then that got nerfed, and then within the following year, his base attack time got buffed, and then like a year later, his base attack time got buffed again. And now it's to the point where his base attack time is so low that it's just inefficient to do anything but hold right click.
He's the safe carry. Like, you don't know what to pick. The other team has some stuff. I don't really know what to do, and you're just like, okay, I'll pick Juggernaut.
I feel like he and Sven are similar in that regard. Though I think Juggernaut is a little bit safer.
He is safer.
He's safer because he can TP out more easily, but he has way less things to do with illusion-based heroes. But you get Battle Fury anyway, so...
I've been meaning to experiment with a couple things, but going into off-lane and support heroes that are quite good right now. Ancient Apparition is amazing, by the way. He is so good right now. I really think Ancient Apparition is like a pub winning hero.
Why is he so
Play
good
him
at
as
the
a
moment?
support. Cold Feet got a gigantic buff. Chilling Touch is magnificent. And
Chilling Touch finally, because Chilling Touch, back when it used to slow your attack speed, I was like, I hate this. I hate this so much because it slows attack speed. So the people that you're giving it to, especially like if you've just killed someone or you've zoned someone out and you're using it, or you're just using it to get CS, then the person you cast on that's on your team now has to be familiar with their new attack point.
Plus,
to get the CS.
It slows them. Plus, it slows them. Like, their move speed for like half a second.
And with talents, it's absurd.
Against them.
With talents, it's broken. It's 155 freaking damage. Like,
yeah. It's a lot of damage. Chilling Touch is really good.
That's a level 20 talent too, so that's actually relatively early, especially because...
Well, he buys Midas.
Yeah, because he buys Midas.
Will buy Midas.
Yeah, you're rushing to level 20, and yeah, you'll have that. You'll probably have that Chill and Touch talent. You'll probably have that talent.
Yep.
And his talents are insane.
He's so good. His talents
are insane. Dude. All of his talents are awesome. See, this is something I really like. The level 10 talent, 10% spell amp, and 60 GPM are both things that are like...
They're both good.
Insane, and they're both level 10. And it's level 10.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a free ward every minute.
Yeah.
Basically.
Or just 10%
I know they're up to 80 gold and whatever, but it's basically a free ward every minute.
I'm always going to pick
You don't have to do anything.
I'm always going to pick GPM there.
If I'm ahead, I love picking spell amp because hear me out here. Okay?
No, it's better if you're ahead.
Yeah, so you're ahead. You have a Midas, right? You don't really need the gold per minute if you have a Midas. It's nice. Like, obviously, you can just ball out and have like a ton of items, but I like the extra damage. You go spell amp, and you get a Kaya, and your Ice Blast all of a sudden just makes you fucking stupid.
Yeah.
20% extra damage on your ult.
I feel like 600 gold every 10 minutes. So in 20 minutes, that's an extra 1,200. It's not that much gold.
It's really good if you get it like at level 10 and it's a long game, because overall, like, obviously the gold
50
GPM
minutes
are better the longer the game goes.
6,000 gold at 50 minutes. That's a lot of gold. The big deal for me is...
It just helps.
I think the big question there, if it's not obvious whether the game's going to be long or short, is how close am I to my Midas already? Because if that's 60, if I'm level 10 and don't have a Midas, which I feel like you're going to find yourself in a lot of the time, because AA is like a 5 or a 4 in a lot of games.
Yeah. He's mostly a 5.
He's mostly a 5. Yeah. So you're going to find yourself at level 10 without that Midas a lot of the time. So if you're
nowhere close to getting that Midas,
that 60 GPM is going to put you closer to your Midas, which is also going to accelerate your farm. So if you haven't got the Midas yet, you absolutely have to get that talent.
Yeah.
If you're not near that Midas, you got to get it. Who else is balling?
Yeah, and then you get Ice Vortex cooldown because it's a good slow. It's 30% slow at level 4, right? If they don't have a
Yeah.
movable hero, that's really good. 80 chilling touch, chill damage. That's really good. 4 charges of cold feet. Cold feet's hilarious, and it's so good right now. If you have
Cold
any other
feet.
stun to combo with it, it's so good, man. Big Ancient Apparition fan. Everybody should play Ancient Apparition.
I meant to actually ask.
That hero's
I
stupid.
meant to bring up earlier. So VP won the summit. Total tangent, but
Yeah.
VP won the summit, and their captain is Art Style.
Yep.
Art Style just won essentially a major. Like, it's a minor, but really it's a major. The big I know.
There's a lot of top teams there.
That's what I'm saying.
A lot of top teams.
It's I mean it's literally and legally a minor, but it's a major in terms of the people he had to play against.
Yeah.
And they won first place. Art Style beat all of the best teams in the world in 2017. He was the captain of Na'Vi when they won TI1.
Yep.
What?
Okay. He's always been a good player. He's always been around the scene for a while, right?
No, he was like shit for like 3 years.
Well, whatever.
He was
he has a lot of knowledge of the team.
He was like he was like one of those dudes I thought went to LoL for a couple of years. Like he was out of the game. He was out for a long time. When Puppy's drastically better than him at drafting, I think. But anyway, offlane heroes.
Okay, listen to this, okay? Yes, he's bad, but the other 4 players on VP are also really, really good.
Yeah.
So, like, he did play well. Like, all props to him.
Yeah, no, he didn't.
Really, really good.
He didn't underperform at all, and he drafted. He drafted very well.
He drafted really well.
Yeah.
But VP is just really good in general.
Yeah.
I see it as
which is really cool because they're kind of past due for being very good. I think.
They're really good, and I think they'll be really good like for the whole year.
Weren't they one of those teams that said they weren't going to? They didn't change a damn thing after TI.
Yeah. Okay, offlane heroes. Obviously Omni Knight before he got nerfed. I think he's a little weaker now, but I still think he's good in the right team. A little more situational now. Tide Hunter's great. I really like Tide this patch.
Tide is really hard to kill, isn't he?
Yeah, really, really hard, especially if he gets a hood.
Yeah, like
Kraken Shell is really good. You get Aeon Disc, Kraken Shell, that Tide's never stopping moving.
Oof.
He's just gonna keep running.
Oof. God,
I would never get it on him.
That level 15 talent makes me just like, ugh. Like, which do I go for? Which way do I go? Which way do I go?
They're both really good.
They're so good. Really good. I feel like you have to go Anchor Smash, but I don't want to go Anchor Smash. I want to go Experience.
Yeah, you're always about the experience.
I'm always about the greed.
I don't know. It kind of depends.
Well, I mean, I think you have to
Gush armor is okay.
I think you go Anchor
Kraken
Smash.
Shell damage block's good.
Because it's physical, and it pierces BKB, and it lasts 6 seconds, and it's 85% of your damage. So I think you have to get it. I think you have to get it.
Anchor Smash.
It's just too damn good.
Again, he's not that good against magic heavy tri lanes, so you just have to be careful when you pick him. But
like most heroes,
like most heroes
that can be killed by large amounts of damage.
Like, okay, he's really bad. Say if they have 3 ranged heroes, and they're all gonna right click you. Like, yeah, okay, but if they have like a melee core, and then they have like a melee support, and then like I don't know, like a Rubik or some like hero that can't really
you need a lot of right click range damage to make a Tide Hunter uncomfortable in a lane, because he's just gonna walk up, Anchor Smash you. You're not gonna be able to right click shit, and then he's gonna like laugh at you and just like CS. Like, he doesn't care. He's this big like stupid floppy fish that just takes away all your damage.
It's great. I love Tide Hunter.
I hated him for so long. Now I'm kind of okay with him. I don't like playing
Underlord is really good.
Why is Underlord so good?
Okay. What is the hero? Okay, how do you see the hero? Like, when you look at him, what do you see?
I see him as this guy that, like a position 3, like an off lane, like a farming off lane. Like he seems to me like someone that he's very good at positioning. He's very good at controlling big chunks of space and moving his team around that chunk of space while making the enemy making it hard for the enemy to interact with that space.
Read
needs-
what his atrophy aura does.
He needs his space. He needs his safe space. He is a safe space.
He's a safe space guy.
His atrophy aura takes away damage, right?
Yep. Level 4, it's 40% damage.
Just from existing?
For existing.
I didn't know it was 40%. Wow.
A flat 40% physical damage reduction.
That's not talent dependent.
Nope. Nope. Just by existing.
Wait, so is that only base damage? Or is that just like the amount of damage?
Yeah, it's base damage. It's base damage.
Which for carries is basically, it's only physical, right?
Yep.
Okay. So for right-click carries, if you are agility based, you are screwed. Strength doesn't care as much, like Sven cares, but strength doesn't care as much because I feel like you're more likely to build bonus damage rather than damage based on attributes. But if you're an agility hero and you really want lots of agility, then you are suddenly useless.
Yep. He's also really good against strength heroes too.
Yeah, strength heroes that want to build... The strength heroes that build their damage around strength. Like Sven, for example, is just useless against this guy.
Yeah. Well, see, where he's really good against strength heroes is not in his atrophy or anymore. It's Firestorm.
Really? Firestorm does a percentage, doesn't it?
Damage.
Yeah, I saw. I forgot about that. I forgot about the Firestorm percentage.
He can do... It's 4% of your health.
Yeah.
Gone. Every tick.
And there's 6 of them. So 6 times 4
and there's 6 of them.
Yeah, it's like a quarter of your... Plus you've got 70 damage per wave. So yeah, that's a huge amount of damage. Thing is, it doesn't slow you, so you can just step out of it unless you're stuck in the pit. But...
Unless you're stuck in the pit.
But it's 6 seconds. It's 6 waves over 12 seconds, so the route's not that long. I mean, it's mostly like it's a space control ability, really. Like,
yeah, it is.
If you're getting hit by that, you're either under black hole or some other CC, or you're just
an
idiot.
Early game, if you have Boots Soul Vanguard with like 3 points in atrophy aura, like people are just gonna tickle you. It's 10 minutes into the game, you're farming with Firestorm, they just run up to you and tickle you.
Yeah.
They just can't kill you. Unless they run like 4 heroes at you.
I feel like backdoor protection is too strong right now because I really want to see Alliance do some crazy shit with Dark Rift, and nobody... Like, you don't pick the hero for his ulti. And when people do...
Oh yeah, Blink ulti is great. It's just a good utility tool.
When people pick his ult... When people pick his ulti...
You cast your ult.
They only use it defensive.
No, they can use it offensive.
I've only seen it used, like, defensively.
Yeah, okay. Think about it this way. You have your mid hero. Let's say it's a Queen of Pain. Okay? You're baiting her. She's running down mid lane. They think she's by herself. You group up your other 3 heroes and your Underlord, and you have your 4-second delay on your ult. So you cast it on the creep wave behind the quap, and all of a sudden you got like 4 heroes right there, like in their face. Like obviously it can backfire,
and that's also a massive commitment.
Like a Tide Ravage or something, right? Like that's a giant commitment.
And it's also a huge commitment on your cool. That's a big cooldown too. That's why everyone uses it defensively, because it's like, we can leave now.
Okay, think about it I'm gonna give you another scenario. You take a fight bottom, so they smoked into your jungle. You have all your 5 of your heroes there. You do really well. Basically, you win the team fight. So you have, say you lose 1 guy, so you got 4 heroes, including your Underlord.
Another lane is
your
pushed.
Bottom
you
lane,
can move the whole.
You can move everybody to that top lane
to take the
tower.
Yeah, to take racks or whatever lane is currently pushed in farther.
Or you can teleport to the shrine or the T1 or either of the T1s and take Roshan.
Yeah, or defend
he's
if
also
you're being
a great Roshan
ratted.
hero.
Yeah,
exactly.
he would be a good Rosher because of his aura.
Nope, it's Firestorm, dude.
Wait,
percentage damage on Roshan.
His aura would work. That'd be all of Roche's damage, right?
No, he still does damage. Well, yeah, because it's 40%.
Yeah,
but
the
yeah,
40%
hits like
40% of Roshan. Yeah, that's a big deal.
hits like a kitten, and Firestorm kills him really fast.
Yeah, and I think you might be able to. That's not channeled, is it?
What, Firestorm?
Yeah.
Nope.
You might be able
You
to.
just can cast it. It's an area cast.
I think you can solo Roche with this hero.
If you had the right items, probably.
Early game, because well, the thing is, if you think about max, it's max 24. It's 24% of your max health every cast plus the other damage, and it's got a 12-second cooldown. You can have it on 50% of the time, so every 12 seconds you can do 24% of his max health.
Yeah.
And you get the fire. You could get the Firestorm wave damage at like level 10 if you wanted, which I don't think you should do.
It's pretty.
I'd have to play
like,
around with it. This is just something
88.
that needs to be tested.
It's 88 damage versus 70 per tick. So I mean it's okay, but it's not like amazing. 30 move speed's pretty good. Because the problem with Underlord is he's not the fastest guy. Kind of fat.
Yeah,
he kind of moves around
his move speed is
so
pretty damn slow.
He kind of rumbles along there. I think the move speed's definitely
waddles.
a solid choice on him. He waddles. The atrophy attack bonus damage from heroes is really good, so you can like
that's an aura, right?
Yeah, it's part of his aura.
But it's an aura that
kill a hero,
it gives it to your allies too, right?
No, it just gives it to you.
It just gives it to you.
Yeah. So you wipe them. 5 heroes, they're gone. You have your Underlord. He gets 45 extra damage per hero, plus another 15, so he gets 60 damage per hero on him. He can literally like 10-shot a tower by himself.
So this lasts until they respawn, right?
No, it's is
it duration? So it's 100 seconds with Ags or 60 without. Ooh. Oh, and the Ags gives it to allies for half value.
Yeah.
That is actually insane, because if you team wipe, that means if you have any decent right click,
you're gonna take some objective real fast.
Yeah, if you have any decent right clicking heroes on your team, and you have an atrophy aura with an Ags, and you win a team fight, you kill three. Like if you kill 5 heroes, like you are going to go. You could just easily win. Like you could win.
Yep.
Like let's say it's like 20 minutes and you just got a 5-man wipe outside of the enemy's tier 3. Like you were in a big push and the game was relatively even, but they fucked up and you got a rampage. That's game over. You can just go straight to the throne and win right then, because everyone in your team has 250 bonus damage, and you actually more than that. Well, close to everyone on your team has so it'd be when's the talent come in? So level 15, so that would be 30 times 5. Everyone on your team has 150 bonus damage, and you have 300. So you can just mow down everything immediately.
Yep.
And if they buy back,
you still have that damage for a minute,
and you can get it again.
Or
you can get more than 6. You can get more than 5 stacks. My mother left me a voicemail. All right,
I gotta actually head out.
I gotta go. So thank you guys so much for watching. Merry Christmas, everyone. This is our patch analysis for patch 7.07D. Thank you very much to my co-host, Emperor. He's not LD, though I know he sounds a lot like LD. WiredGuitars overslept today. There's still lots more to talk about, and Merry Christmas, everybody. I'll see y'all later. Peace.